Yes, good morning. Okay, so let's start. So before starting, let me give a brief introduction of. I think like many people have just joined yesterday and they're new to this, right? So I'll just guide you the website or the dashboard, okay, from where you can navigate and solve your queries and from where you can access all your course content. Correct? Yeah. So even I believe like you have watched all your week one content, and this will be our first revision session, right? So whatever has been discussed in the week one, so we're gonna revise that. And so because it's very less topics, yes, so we'll solve like few questions because many topics in Python has not been covered, right? I mean, like they have discussed only few things. Okay. So going forward in the revision classes, we'll have like more number of questions, right? So we're gonna solve many extra questions, right? And I just wanted to share one more thing. So from next week, Ekta will be taking the revision sessions. Okay. Got it? Yeah. So let's start. So I hope you have signed in and you got an access to your dashboard. Okay. Let me go to my courses. And the courses which have enrolled, I think you can access all the courses here. So that is the code data science with ML, right? And here you have all the links. Okay, like you have live class link, okay, that is the revision class link, right? And you have support channels, okay, like Telegram channel. Just click onto this and just it will navigate to Telegram. Just you need to enroll it. Okay, so here we don't have any extra steps. Okay, this is the live class recordings. I mean, like whatever the live classes will be held in this batch, like orientation was held, right? That was a live session. And even this revision classes and whatever the practice classes and extra, right? Whatever we're going to take it live classes, all the recordings will be uploaded here, right? So in the live session recordings, fine. And so this will be a week wise content. So right now they have uploaded week one, right? And of course, like from Monday or Tuesday, we'll be getting a week two content. And this will continue until we complete our entire curriculum, right? And in the each week, we'll have the practice assignments, right? As well as you can see practice questions as well as assignments which you need to submit it, right? So that will be uploaded soon. Fine. And so this was a brief introduction. And apart from this, under the each video, right, we'll have the uh, overview, right? And the resources like which is attached to this particular video, right? Whatever resources is required, like class notes, right? And any practice questions or the Jupyter notebook where the mentor is using, right? So everything will be accessed from this resource section. And the notes, so here you can just write your notes, okay? So that like when you are revising this topic, will have the road notes which is entered by you, right? I mean, like all the notes will be accessed from here, right? It's your notes. It's not like we'll be entering any notes here, right? Next is doubts. So already people started asking the doubts, right? So whatever the doubts is, you can just enter it here, right? And this is regarding the feedback, okay, with respect to each and every video, right? So if in case if you're not able to understand that particular topic or it's very difficult you to understand or any feedback, you can just feel free to just rate your classes, right? And share the feedback, okay? And based on this, we'll take an action, fine? Okay, so this was a brief introduction of dashboard. And yes, so whatever the questions is, we'll address at the end of the live class. Okay. So first we'll start some. We'll learn something new, right? We'll just revise the topics. At the end, I'll give you the access so that you can talk to me and you can just address your queries. Fine. Got it? All good. Any specific doubt I want to address? I think like this was a quick introduction of dashboard and this has been explained in orientation class in detail. Correct? Got it? Are we good? Yes. Yeah. Thanks. Fine. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so first let me explain the agenda what we'll be doing today. Okay, so then we can start. Fine. Okay, so I hope you all can see my board, right? Okay, yes, Ashutosh. Okay, your doubts will be clear. Don't worry. Fine. Okay, so let me first write down like what we'll be doing, right? So today's agenda, right? Okay, so first we'll start with introduction, right? So we'll start with what is data science, right? So what is data science? fine. And basically, what is AI, right? So what is ML? What is DL? Okay, because you should know the basic difference of this everything. Okay, so when someone asks you like what is AI, what is ML, what is deep learning, what is data science, right? So many are not able to answer like specifically. Okay, so they think like everything is same. Okay, but it's not, right? So we have we'll understand. Okay, so when we get into this topic. Okay, so first we'll see like what is data science. Okay, so what actually the AI is, what is ML and what is deep learning and so on, and NLP and what is computer vision. Okay, just an introduction and few applications with respect to this. Okay, so next we'll see the introduction to programming, right? Intro to programming. Okay. So then we'll see the different types of programming, right? So we have like Python, we have Scala, okay, we have R programming. Okay. Specifically, we'll see like what actually the Python is and why we use Python and applications of Python programming. Okay. So then we'll go to the Python basics. Okay. This is what the revision is, right? So in the Python basics, okay. So we'll start with what is statements, right? So we need to know what is statements in Python. We need to know what is keywords in Python, right? As well as identifiers. Okay. And basically comments, what is comments and how to write a comment in Python. Okay. So this is what I think this has been discussed in week 1, correct? Let's correct me if I'm wrong, right? This is what it's been covered, right? Okay. And yeah, apart from this, even let's see, like we can explore our PW lab. Okay. So I'll just show you how to access the PW lab. And because in recordings, we are accessing the Google Colab, right? So this is what these environment which we are using, but we have a different environments. Okay. So going forward in the course, like when we go for machine learning, we'll be using different IDs, right? Like we may use VS Code. Okay, we may use Anaconda, Jupyter Notebook, or we may use Google Colab. You should be familiar with all those things, right? So I'll just give a brief idea about like IDEs, right? So we have a different IDEs. Anyways, we'll be using a PW lab for all our practice, right? And apart from this, okay, so in the real time, right? So we'll be building any specific projects. We'll be using VS Code, right? We'll be using PyCharm, right? We'll be using Spider. Okay, so we have many such IDs. Okay, so I'll just give a brief introduction, okay, of what or different IDs you can work with. Fine. Okay. Yes, Ashutosh, if you're good in PyCharm, you can continue with this. Okay, so this is what the today's agenda is. Fine. So shall we start? Okay, so we'll start with what actually the data science is. So data science ka matlab kya hai, right? So let's start. Okay, so I think many people have joined, I mean, like for this course for the first time, they're exploring the data science first time. Okay, so even we have few participants who have already learned. Okay, so anyone, just raise your hand if you want to just explain what is data science, what is AI, what is ML, and what is DL. Anyone in the participants? Just raise your hand. I'll give anyone. Okay, anyone. It's random selection. Okay. Okay, we have Avinash. Yes, Avinash. I have just unmuted. Okay, can you just explain like what is data science and like what do you think like what is data science is, what is AI and ML is? Uh, Not available. Okay. Anyways, uh, Avinash. Okay, fine. No. Okay. So let me give you. Let's select one. Okay, Pawan. Okay, Pawan.
Sir,
Yes. Hi, Pawan. Yeah. So yeah. So what do you think? Like, what is data science? What is AI? What is ML? How do you differentiate these terms? Yeah.
so data science is just a division of the science field which deals with the science environment, but here we only deal with the data part.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
data, what we were used to collect in the last decade,
Mm-hmm.
now we are using those data to train our computers and to get the desired outputs. So those data can be used in the parts of AI, like artificial intelligence or artificial neural networks.
Mm-hmm.
ML ML is just the code where we train this kind of a model so that we can get the desired output.
Okay. Good. Good, Pawan. Yeah.
And a deep learning is just again an algorithm part, which is
Mhm.
againly will be used by AI.
Okay. Okay, so that's great. Okay. Thanks, Pawan. Okay, so here shared is input. Okay, so let's understand. Okay, so let me share my slides. Okay, so please concentrate. I'll take all your queries. Okay, so first let's concentrate in the class. Okay, so whatever the doubt is, I'll be addressing. Fine, don't worry. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so first let's understand what actually the data is. Okay, so before getting into what actually the data science is, right? So first let's understand what is data. So what is data? Yes, please. What is data? Because right now we are generating a lot of data, right? So either we are consuming it or we are generating it, right? So simple is like mobile phone. Okay, if I take my mobile phone, I know like I can write a tweets here, right? So I can share my opinions, right? So yes, yes, what I can do, okay? Yes, of course, I'm sending my images. I'm sharing my images. I'm writing some chats, right? I'm making some documents, I'm sharing it, right? So it's a raw information, or I can say it's a facts, right? So data is all about facts or an information, okay? So so even in the video, we understood the amount of data we are generating today, right? So it's a huge amount of data. Even we can't think about it. Okay, it's not about like megabytes or gigabytes. Okay, so it's like tera petabytes of data which is being generated every second. Okay, so if you go and check, okay, if you try to do the research, okay, the amount of data is generated by the social media platforms. Okay, whether it could be a Facebook or WhatsApp or any social media platform, the data is too huge. Okay, so it's the first task I'm assigning to you. Okay, so first try to do the research about the data. Okay, the amount of data that is being generated today. Fine. It's the first task. Okay, please write down all the tasks which I'm just giving it. Okay, so that at the end of this revision session, I want you to do that research. Okay, and publish as a report. Okay, or you can share it with your colleagues. Okay, even share it in your LinkedIn, right? So that you can tag me and Vishwa sir, right? So whatever the orientation class happened, right? So there are few people have shared their opinions as well as they have to make their notes and everything, right? It feels good, okay? So try to make those notes and share it, right? So it will be helpful for you and whatever the connection made in the LinkedIn, right? So even they'll be able to watch your all your work, okay? So whenever you have engaged with some course. Correct. Okay. So we understood what is data, right? So data is all about facts and information, right? So now, to taking this data, okay. Okay, the company started. Okay, so once we have this data, okay, so why we are collecting? Why the companies are collecting the data? Can you just tell me like why these companies are collecting data? We know like data is all about facts and information. So when I say data, data is of various forms, right? So structured data, unstructured data. We have the data of images, audio, video, right? We have like when it comes to specifically, we have something called CSV data, like the data in the spreadsheets, right? So we have the data everywhere. So what do you think, Lucky? Why these companies are collecting the data? Okay, that's good, Rahul, right? So to make a business decisions, right? So this is very important. Okay. So the company started collecting the data. Okay. So for the specific needs. Okay. So one is to improve their sales, right? To improve their marketing strategies, right? To grow their business. Okay. So there are various ways like they started using like why we have to consume the data. And from the data, I can extract some meaningful information, right? Yes, Sujin, that's correct. For the predictions, right? So data, so once we have the data, okay, so the company started that data, okay, for the business. Okay, when I say for the business, okay, so they are collecting that data to improve their business. Okay, when I say improve their business, again we can use many technical stuff there. Okay, I'm just keeping it very simple. So in short, I want to just grow my business, okay, in terms of sales or in terms of like whatever the products is, right? So I want to just take a feedback from the customers. I want to do some sentiment analysis, right? So I can do many things from there, right? So yeah, so these are one of the reasons, okay, so why companies started collecting the data, okay, and they are making use of this data for their business growth, right? So yeah, so that they can stuck user. Yes, that's correct, Anjali. Yeah, that's correct, right? So what is data science? Okay, so we don't have any like static definition. Okay, so I can write my own definition, like how I can define the data sciences. So when I just want to give a common definitions of the data science, so I can just say a data science is basically an approach to make discoveries from the data, right? I can say it's a automated way to analyze enormous amount of data and extract information Okay, and even you can define it's a new discipline that combines the aspects of statistics, mathematics, programming, and visualization. You can see like all these three definitions. Okay, it's conveying the same information. What? So we are extracting a meaningful information from the data. That's correct. Yes. So how you define a data science? So data science is basically a combination of two things. Okay. So one is a domain expertise. Okay. And one is called technology. Okay. So combining these two things. Okay. So you are extracting some meaningful information from the data. Okay. So what is domain expertise? Can you just explain me what is meaning of domain expertise is? Any ideas? What is meaning of domain expertise? Any idea what is in specific nature? Yes. Okay. Okay, let me take one simple example. Assume like I am working in healthcare sector, okay, and I'm new to healthcare, okay. I'm like I don't have any idea about the medical, okay. Assume like I have deployed as a data science or a data scientist in that company, okay, and I know all the technology. I know about Python. I know about like data processing tools. I know data cleaning and everything, okay, and they have just assigned me, they have given me all the x-rays, okay, and they want to predict like whether the person has to go for surgery or not, okay, by seeing the x-rays, okay. I want to build a model, okay, some model, okay. So the inputs will be all my x-rays, right, and based on that x-rays, the machine has to predict whether the person has to go for knee surgery or not. Okay, so I'll have all the data sets. Of course, here the data set is too huge because we'll have a lot of x-rays. I need to train that model, right? So until I don't know, okay, so about the knee, for example, I want to get into surgery part, right? So if I don't know about like how the knee surgery happens, or I don't know anything about the knee or the structure of the knee, will I able to build any good models? What do you think? Okay. I don't know anything about health. Okay. I mean, like, I don't know anything. No, right? I mean, like, even see, you can take it example of finance also. Okay. So if in some country we have a CIBIL score. So how many know about the CIBIL score? How many of you know about the CIBIL score? What is CIBIL score? Okay, so based on that score, the either your loan will be approved or yeah, it's credit information. That's correct, right? Yeah. Okay. When you apply for the loan in HDFC Bank or any Bajaj Finance Bank, right? So first you'll enter all your details, right? You'll enter your basic information, right? You'll enter all your PAN card and Aadhaar card, etc. Right? You'll enter all your information, correct? Yeah. So once you enter all your information, so system will automatically will check all your history, right? The credit history, and based on that, so either your loan will be approved or it will be get rejected, right? So nowadays this is all automation. Okay, so earlier you used to visit to bank, right? So you need to give all your details there. Correct. So once you have given all your details, they generally they'll ask like come tomorrow, right? Kalajo, we'll just let you know whether your loan is approved or not. So nowadays we have the automation. So application will automatically just see your credit history and based on that, so it will get rejected, right? So here, so in a company, okay, so wherever the people are building such models, okay, they are integrating such AI in their applications until they don't know what is CIBIL score and what is CIBIL, right? So I mean, like, what are the various factors which affect the CIBIL? They're not able to build some good models for that, right? So domain expertise is very important. So whenever you're looking for the jobs in data science, right? So make sure you are specific to some domain, okay? Because this is what happens generally, okay? So when they complete the course, okay, so they don't have some specific idea. They generally go and apply for the data scientist role or ML engineer, but they don't have the domain knowledge, okay? So domain knowledge is very important. So whenever you are looking for some job, okay, so make sure so whatever the learning you're doing it, okay, it has to be blend with domain knowledge. Okay, the domain knowledge is your interest, right? So if you are interested in finance or if you're interested in health sector or if you're interested in any other fields, right? So whether you're interested in robotics, right, or healthcare, okay, there are various domains nowadays, right? So I mean, like in all the domains, the AI is integrated, right? So first you need to choose your domain, okay, so that you need to blend with the technology, okay. This is one of the definition of data science, okay, so where you combine your domain expertise and scientific methods with technology to get data science. So this is what the slide is talking about, right? So when I talk about domain expertise and scientific methods, right? So we have all the mathematical and statistics models. Okay, you should know about the basic mathematics. You should know all about the statistics. Okay, you should know how to analyze certain data, right? Data pre-processing, data validation, and stuff, right? So this I can perform all these tasks with the technology. Okay, when it comes to technology, so I need to know about, of course, a Python program, not Python specifically, you need to know about a programming language, any operating system. I mean, like you need to know the basic system commands, right? I mean, like data processing tools, libraries, data visualization tools, ETL tools, okay, databases, data warehouses concepts, right? So we'll combine these both things to build certain AI products. Okay, so this is the basic definition of data science. Okay, so what you do, you just combine the domain expertise with a technology to get data science. Correct? Okay. So what is data? So data is all about facts and information, right? So we're gonna extract some meaningful information from the data to build a certain AI products. So what is AI? We'll come to that. But what is generally the data sciences? So data science is basically a domain or a branch. Okay. So where you're combining your domain expertise with a technology to get some good insights from the data. Correct? Got it? Yes. Okay. Any doubts? Understood? Like what is actually the data sciences? Yes. Yes. Okay. So here, okay. So when I say domain expertise, right? Just a second. Let me drink water. Okay. So so when I talk about, yes, this video will be shared. Don't worry. Okay. So when I talk about domain expertise, right? So when I say I will be doing a data analysis, so what kind of data analysis? Okay. So see, this is an introduction, okay? So don't get, I mean, like overwhelmed that seeing like all these definitions, okay? So just for introduction, it's like uh, just the beginning, right? So we're gonna learn this all these keywords and terms like going forward in the course, like what is descriptive statistics, what is predictive statistics, what is diagnostic statistics, okay? So it's just a quick start just to understand like what we have in this course, fine? Okay, so when it comes to yes, Anjali. So data science is a combination of mathematics and everything. We'll come to that. I'll show that slide. Fine, don't worry. Okay, so we'll start with like what kind of a domain expertise and scientific methods is. Okay, so when I say like data scientist is doing some kind of analysis or is doing some kind of predictions in the data. Okay, so what kind of different analysis which can perform in the data, right? So these are the different types of statistics I can say, right? So when I say I'm doing them some data analysis, okay, what kind of data analysis you're doing it? So I can say I'm doing a descriptive analysis. I can say I'm doing a predictive analysis, or I can say I'm doing a prescriptive analysis. So there are n number of analysis, like diagnostic analysis, right? So this is what the data analysis is. Yes, Raj. Okay, sorry. I need to explain Hindi. Okay, so I'll just bit use in Hindi. Okay, don't worry. Okay. Okay. So data analyst, right? So data analysis के अंदर हमारे कितने, we have a various analysis types, right? So we have a descriptive analysis, we have a predictive analysis, and we have a prescriptive analysis. ठीक है? तो descriptive analysis का मतलब क्या होता है? Okay, so when I say what is meaning of descriptive analysis, a study of a data set to get some insights. When I say description of the data, okay, calculating mean, median, okay, the summary of the data, okay, descriptive का मतलब होता है just basic summary of the data, okay. So the in short, okay, is what the meaning of descriptive is. Okay, what is meaning of predictive? Predictive का मतलब क्या होता है? So I'm using the data to predict the future. Okay, so like I want to predict tomorrow's temperature, or I want to predict tomorrow's sales. Okay, or something like that. Okay, so I'm using the data to predict something about the future. So I'm doing a predictive analysis. Okay, so this is what the meaning of predictive means. Okay, next is prescriptive. Okay, so prescriptive is all about the suggestion. Okay, already I have a data set. Okay, so I want to give certain kind of a suggestion so that I can use that information to make my decisions better. Okay, so to make my whatever the business is, I want to just grow that business in a better way. Okay, this is what the meaning of prescriptive is. ठीक है. So these are the three types of analysis which you generally do it. Okay, so we have very different analysis like diagnostic analysis. Okay, so which we'll be learning in the statistics part. ठीक है. Uh, Okay, so when it comes to technology, of course, like we'll be doing all this model building, right? We have a lot of libraries in Python, right? So we have data processing tools, application design, okay? So are the technology part which we are combining with our domain expertise to build what a certain AI products, right? So it's a general role of data scientist. Okay, so whenever you're working in any company, okay, so this is what the general flow is. Okay, तो पहला हमारा क्या होता है? First we'll have the question, right? तो question का मतलब we'll have certain problem statement which we need to solve, right? This is what the question is, right? So then you're gonna do the data acquisition. So what is the meaning of data acquisition? Based on that problem statement, okay, so of course I need the data to build certain models, right? So our journey will start with the data, right? So is what the meaning of data acquisition. So I'll be getting the data from various places. Okay, when I say various places, I can get the data from databases, data warehouses, from the applications, from the apps, okay, from IoT sensors, right? So based on my problem statement, okay, the company will get that data, right? So will this step is we call as a data acquisition. Okay, this is what the meaning of data acquisition. तो इसका मतलब क्या होता है? We have a certain question, right? So we have a, yeah, that's good, Ashutosh, right? So source of data, right? तो पहले हमारे पास एक question होता है, right? So based on that question, okay, so I need to solve that question. To solve that particular question, I need a data, okay? तो उस step को हम बोलते हैं data acquisition, to get the data from various data sources. ठीक है. So next is data wrangling. जो जो भी हमारा data आ रहा है, right? So it's not in a clean format. ठीक है. So this is a very important step. Okay. So data wrangling, data cleaning is almost, it takes 70% of time in the data scientist life cycle, because so data cleaning is a very hectic task, right? Yes, Priyank. So web scraping is one of the techniques how we get the data from various data sources. Yeah. So data wrangling is not arranging. I can say it's a data cleaning. Okay. तो मैं इसका भी एग्जांपल ले सकता हूँ. जैसे मेरे पास 3 stores है, right? I have 3 different stores in 3 different cities. I'm getting the data from that stores. Okay. तो एक स्टोर में they are collecting the customer information. उनका अलग ही फॉर्मेट है. जैसे वो जब वो कस्टमर का इंफॉर्मेशन ले रहे हैं, they're just collecting first name and last name. ठीक है. और समझो एक दूसरा स्टोर है, they're collecting only the last name. ठीक है. और एक स्टोर है, they're just collecting the first name. ठीक है. तो जो भी मेरा डेटा है फ्रॉम ऑल थ्री डिफरेंट प्लेस आर डिफरेंट, राइट? बिकॉज एक स्टोर में फर्स्ट नेम लास्ट नेम कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं, लेकिन एक स्टोर में सिर्फ लास्ट नेम कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं, और एक स्टोर में सिर्फ द कलेक्टिंग फर्स्ट नेम. सो व्हेन आई कंबाइन ऑल दिस डेटा इन वन प्लेस, आई नीड टू डू सम क्लीनिंग, बिकॉज मतलब whenever I'm collecting the same information from 3 different sources, I need to clean in certain manners, right? So I need to make it everything capitals, or is a small idea about like what is meaning of data wrangling is. Okay. So इसी तरह we can have different columns in my data set, so where I want to clean it. ठीक है. Or I want to change the data types, or okay, something like that, right? So is what the meaning of data wrangling. So in short, just understand the data wrangling is all about the data cleaning. ठीक है. So first we get the data from various data sources. Then what we'll do, just we gonna clean that particular data. Okay. So then you can see this aggregation, right? So we can build a machine learning model, or of course you can go to the other way, that is I can use some stats on mathematical models. Okay, so to build certain visualization reports. So whatever the data after cleaning we have, okay, going to two different ways. Okay, so this is the way the data analyst will be working. Okay, who is the data analyst? Okay, the people who are basically understand about the business, and they're going to build some good dashboards, right? So this is where the people will be working. Okay, so they use some kind of stats and math techniques, okay, like predictive analysis or something like that, right? They're going to analyze the data and build some good reports. Okay, so this is what the data visualization, data report, and the data products is, right? So then we have a machine learning. Of course, we're going to build, for example, I want to build a prediction model, right? So using some linear regression or any model, I'll be building that once I get this clean data. Okay, this is what a general role of overview role of data scientist is. Okay. Data analyst, yeah. So data analyst role is totally different. Okay, so I'll explain that at the end. Fine, don't worry. Okay, so these are some of the applications. Okay, so we have various applications of data, right? I told about the data acquisition step, right? So data acquisition step में क्या हो रहा है? I'm getting the data from various data sources. I'm getting the data from social media platforms, search engines, okay, or from any web applications, right? So I'm just getting the data from various different sectors. I'm just building what? Some digital service, right? I'm building some data products. I'm integrating that in my application. Okay. So this is how we are using the data sciences, right? So you can see, so for example, LinkedIn is one of the good example. Okay. So you have entered all your basic information there, your name. Okay. This is what the data points. Okay. When I say data points, they're collecting the profile information. They're collecting like in which groups you're interested in, right? They're collecting about your location. Okay. All about your connections, post, likes. Okay. So they're getting all these data points. Okay. Because so these are one or two people are using it. There are billions of people are using these applications, right? So they're going to use these data points, okay, to get a certain information. Okay. So what kind of products they're going to build based on this? Like digital services. Okay. So for example, job recommendations. So based on your skills, okay, they're going to recommend certain a job for you, right? Assume like you have listed all the skills which is required to become data scientist, right? So of course, that particular job will be highlighted to you, right? So even in the whatever we see in the recommendation system like Netflix, right, or Amazon Prime, or what like YouTube, generally YouTube, right? So if you are interested in some specific type of videos, right, so it's gonna recommend to you, right, by collecting all your data points, right? This is one of the applications. Okay, so that's where they're gonna collect the information. Okay, so they just extract that information. They're gonna build some digital products or data products. Okay, so this is what the data science is. Correct. Okay, these are the one of the examples of data science. Like I can the Google which uses, right, auto search complete. As soon as you type, okay, they we have certain auto populations, right? So it comes under natural language processing, right? So it's what one of the examples. Okay, even used in the healthcare. Okay, this is one of the example. How healthcare? Okay, आपने तो Apple watches या कोई भी एक वॉच पहना होगा जहां पर आपका हेल्थ रिकॉर्ड ट्रैक हो, राइट? हाउ मेनी स्टेप्स यू आर वॉकिंग इट, okay, about your basic the health parameters, right? So it is being passed, right? So through some a gateway, right? Because nowadays we have IoT devices which is embedded, right? So I mean, like we call it as edge devices, the devices which are near to us. So इसके अंदर भी बहुत सारे sensors होंगे, right? So similarly, the watches which you wear, we have a lot of sensors. It's collecting the information from there, right? So it's going to transfer the data to their data centers. Okay, they do the analytics based on that, and you can see even nowadays we have apps for that, right? Like how many steps you have walked. Okay, I mean, like if they want to keep track of like how many liters of water you're drinking it, right? So all the information is displayed in the dashboard format, right? This is one of the applications where the data is used in the healthcare. Correct. Okay, so even in the finance, okay, so I already explained about the loan thing, right? We have a loan applicant, okay, so he'll go to the loan portal. Then what he'll do, just he enter all the basic details, okay. So based on his history, you can see, so based on his credit reports, okay, credit history, okay, so then it will be approved or it will be get rejected, right? So this is what one of the applications of data sciences. Fine. Okay, so next we'll see this is just an data science public sector. Okay, so where this is for the US, even for the India also we have our websites where all the data is being uploaded in certain sites. Okay, it's all real-time data. Okay, even you can explore those data sets for your analysis. Fine. Okay. So yeah, so now what is AI? Okay, so we understood what is data science, right? So what is AI then? So what is AI? So how you define as AI now? Okay, so in simple, okay, so we have certain kind of input, or we have a data, right? We have some kind of sensors, or it could be some images, right? The data could be anything, right? We have some kind of black box, some kind of intelligence, which is like inside that black box. I'm getting an output as an action, right? As a movement or as a text. Okay, so what is an AI? So in short, I can say an AI is something which mimics a human behavior. Okay, so see, we know about the intelligence, right? So what is the meaning of intelligence is? Can anyone share like intelligence का मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of intelligence? Yes, what is the meaning of intelligence? Any idea? Like what is intelligence? Smart. Okay. Ability to think. That's good, right? Ability to think. Okay. Yes. Then what is the meaning of artificial then? I'm just combining. Okay. Artificial intelligence. Okay. So whatever the intelligence we are giving, okay, we are giving to that to machine, right? We are making a machines to think like a human. Okay. So general definition is we are making a machines to mimic a human behavior. When I say human behavior, what the human can do? Okay. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. I can take decisions, right? That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. So in short, AI is something, okay? It could be a software, it could be any service, or it could be anything which mimics a human behavior. Okay. So then what is the difference between data science and AI? We'll come to that. Okay. But in general, when I say AI, so AI is like a broader overview. It's like broader umbrella. Okay. So first we have an AI, right? So everything comes under AI. Okay. So if I just write it, okay. So our end goal, right? So our end goal, okay. So we have everything. Okay. So whatever I'm gonna make it, okay. When I say AI, which mimics human behavior, right? So whatever the end goal, our end goal is to make an application, okay. So which mimics a human behavior, right? So this is our end goal. Okay. So inside this, we have many subsections. Okay. We have ML, we have data science, we have computer vision, we have NLP, we have generative AI, right? So we have many things, right? Yeah. So we have many things. Okay. So, but end goal is AI. What is AI? Which mimics human behavior. Okay. Whatever the applications or software you're going to make it, okay, it should mimic a human behavior. Okay. Human like intelligence. Okay. This is what the meaning of AI is. Okay. And so let me continue with slides. Okay. So in AI, okay, so they have various subdivisions. Okay. So what is the various subdivisions here? We have something called artificial narrow intelligence. We have something called artificial general intelligence, and we have something called artificial super intelligence. Okay. These are the different levels of intelligence. Okay. So when they started, what do you think, like when this AI got evolved? I mean, like who founded AI? Like when this, I mean, like the roots for AI get started. Who is the founder of AI? Any idea? Like who is father? 2006? No, no. 2000? No. Quickly just Google it and tell me like when the invention of AI get started. 1980s? 1950s, right? Yeah, 1950s. Okay. I mean, like in 90s, it's not, I mean, like it's not like it started in 2000. Okay. It's not something new. Okay. I mean, like they've been doing a lot of research like since 50 years or 70 years. Okay. It's not something new. Okay. Now we are using that technology. Okay. Fine. Okay. So it's the second task. Okay. Just explore like what is AI applications and the AI products in various domains, right? So when it comes to robotics, okay, we have Sophia, like this what the Sophia is like major development like in humanoids, right? So in when you talk about robots, right? So just make a report on like what is AI, the end product of in specific domains. Okay. I mean like leading like for example, if I go to my news, I mean like anchoring. Now we have AI anchors everywhere, right? I mean like not in India specifically. There is in India in Artstak. Okay. If you go and check it, so we have an AI robot. Okay. So which tells the news in Artstak. Okay. So yeah, so this with respect to their domain, okay, media industry, right? So you can just make a report on like applications of AI, okay? So I mean like the different levels of AI, which gonna explain now. We can just put a more light onto this and just categorize like what kind of intelligence that application has. Okay? Yeah, Pradeep, I'll use Hindi also, don't worry. Because Hindi mein, I know Hindi, but the flow jo hai na, when I started with very yeah, with English thing. Okay, I know I'll combine with Hindi. Don't worry. Okay, this is my first class. Please excuse me for the Hindi part. Okay, so in going forward, if I'm taking any session, I'll make sure that I'll speak in Hindi. Okay, I'll just combine that with Hindi. Okay, I'm good in Hindi, but when it comes to teaching part, right? So to get those specific words to explain Hindi, it's very bit not difficult, but yeah, it takes time. Okay, don't worry, I'll explain it. Okay, for this class, just excuse me. Okay, for the people who are expecting, okay, I want to speak in Hindi. Okay, I'll explain it. Okay, so please excuse me for that first time. Okay. Okay, the Hindi guys, okay, please excuse me for this session. Okay, yes, for the upcoming session, I'll come prepared for the Hindi part because when I see, I want to explain something in Hindi. I mean, like there are people who are good in English. Okay, they want to learn in English, and we have people who are good in Hindi. Okay, I mean, like they want to learn both in Hindi and English to explain certain topic. Yes, of course, when we get into academics part, like when I want to explain some Python concepts, something, I'll explain in Hindi also. Don't worry, but this kind of topics I can explain in English. Okay, it will be a better way to communicate those things. Okay, okay, shall we start? Is the session going good, guys? Any feedback, anything you want me to share? Is it good? Yes. Okay, let me have quick poll because Poll makes sense. I just wanted to grab your attention, like whether everything is going smooth. Okay. I'm just giving a poll. Okay. I'm sharing the poll just a second. Meanwhile. Yeah. So we have three levels of intelligence, right? Going good. I'm just mentioning yes, no. Okay. And of course, we'll have both. Okay. The people who have no, so they can just wait at the end. Okay. Like explain your queries. Fine. I'm just sharing this poll. Yes, it takes one, not even take 10 seconds, guys. Please answer it. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay. Okay. So all, okay, out of, I'm just ending it soon, please. Okay. I'm ending it. Okay. I'm showing the results. I'm ending it and showing the results. Okay. Fine. So 96% are good. Okay. Two, three people. Okay. So if you have any queries, please wait. Okay. Is it because of Hindi? Three people, I don't know. Okay. If you have any specific queries, I will address it at the end. Okay. That's good. I don't have any problem. Right? Okay. Placement, data science. Manish, I'll come to that. Okay. You can address me in doubt session, right? Okay. So we'll continue this, or else we'll not end this. Okay. Because we need to start with the Python basics. Fine. Okay. Yes, the slides will be shown. Don't worry. Whatever the materials, don't worry. Okay, I will get shared this. Fine. Yeah, Pradeep. Don't worry. Okay, bilingual because I told right. So generally, the revision session will be held by Ekta. Okay. So if I have some practice questions, maybe I'll be getting some few classes with respect to practice on them. I'll use Hindi there. Right. To explain concepts, I can use, but this is something like the English flow will be very good. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Fine. Okay. So let's start. Okay. So let's start. So we were in the AI, right? So we have a different levels of AI here. Okay. So we have narrow intelligence, general intelligence, and super intelligence. So what is narrow intelligence? So narrow intelligence is also an intelligence which will do just one task. That's it. Okay. Some specific task. Okay. So whatever we know what is AI, right? Which mimics human behavior. If that application is doing just only one task, okay, so I can put that in ANI, that is artificial narrow intelligence. Fine. So we have general something called general intelligence. General intelligence, which will do multiple tasks. Okay. I'm like multiple tasks. I mean like a human level intelligence. So what they do is like they put Sophia in general intelligence because we have not reached the level up to super intelligence. Okay, so super intelligence more of like more advanced. Okay, you can say like in terms of robotics, so where the robots will have the emotions like a human. Okay, so once the robots have the emotions like a humans, then you can say that it's a super intelligence. In some of the research paper, in some of the sites, okay, they put Sophia into super intelligence, but it's not, I mean like we have not reached up to that level. Okay, but generally we have narrow, we have general, and we have a super. So narrow is just doing only one task. Okay, and general is basically doing the multiple task. And when it comes to super intelligence, all like it has emotions, it has social skills, right? It has creativity. Okay, I mean like it is able to do all the tasks what human do it, right? So is what the meaning of super intelligence is. Okay, so don't worry about much. Okay, just a different categories. Okay, so if you have a certain application, you can just categorize that application in any one of these three, like ANI, AGI, or ASI. Okay. Okay. Robotics, yeah. So whatever the robotics we have, like self-driverless cars or Sophia or whatever the applications right now we have, it's more of general intelligence. Super intelligence, a level where we have like social skills, like great wisdom. It's similar to the human, right? So we have not reached up that mark. So whatever the research is happening right now, it's based on the super intelligence, right? This is what your second task is, right? just make a report on this different types of intelligence and just get some of the applications of this. Fine. Okay. Okay. So now what is machine learning? Okay. So, so I was just drawing this, right? So what is machine learning now? Okay. So in short, so I can say a machine learning is one of the subset of AI in short. Okay. Okay. So to build this kind of applications or a software, right? Of course, I need some kind of tools or techniques. Okay. So these tools and techniques combines both stats as well as maths. Okay. Fine. To build certain applications, I need some kind of tools and techniques. Okay. To that tools and techniques, of course, the roots is basically stats and mathematics. Okay. So to have such tools and techniques, okay, that is what stats and math, we have something called ML. Okay. So inside the ML, it's more of all the mathematics and the statistics tools or algorithms, okay, which we make use of to build certain kind of applications. Okay. So this is something like you have a data with you, right? And you are using this data to build certain application. When I say using this data, okay, so what you'll be using, of course, to build certain kind of prediction. In simple, like I can say like linear regression, right? What is the meaning of regression? It's like it's all about prediction, right? For example, in simple, I can say like you want to predict what house prices. Okay, so assume like in your locality you want to predict house prices will have different features. Okay, so assume like based on square feet or you need to predict the house prices in your area. Prediction is all about prediction. It has a some linear relationship. Okay, you want to capture this linear relationship. Okay, to capture this linear relationship, of course I need to have some kind of stats and math tools from where I'll be using that algorithms to build this kind of application. Okay, so this is in short, I can say I am making a data to learn. Okay. So we have a lot of, it will undergo a lot of experimentation. It will learn by itself, right? So to make the machine to learn by itself, okay, we need some kind of tools and techniques that is provided by ML. Fine. So if I just check this slide, okay. So if I just check this slide, so we have a data, right? And okay, before getting into this, so what is AI? So what is ML? So ML is a type of AI. Okay, it's a type. Okay, it's a subset of AI that provides a computers with the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So what is the meaning of this explicitly programmed? Okay, we are making a machines. When I say a machine, it's basically a piece of code. Okay, so we are making a machines to learn by itself. Okay, so by doing a lot of experimentation. Okay, so this is what the meaning of ML is in short. Okay, so this is what one of the techniques. You can see we have a data. Okay, so okay, we have so we have two things. You can see we have something called training. We have something called prediction. Okay, we have something called labeled data. For example, for house price prediction, I have a labeled data. What's the meaning of labeled data? For this number of square feet, okay, so we have, this is what the price is. Okay, so in simple terms, I can take other example for linear regression, so based on um, so I can take this example. Let me write down. Okay, one second. Gold price prediction, no. Mm, Okay, so here you can see, so here we have a good reference here, like we have based on temperature. So what is the sales happening for ice creams? Okay, so you can see this is one of the example for linear regression. So when the temperature is at 20 degrees Celsius, this is what the sales for the ice cream is. And for the 16 degrees Celsius, what the sales is. Okay, and for the 18 degrees, what the sales is. Okay, this is what the linear, wherever you see the data points is actually the sales for this particular temperature. Okay, so how I can read this for the 18 degrees Celsius, this is what the sales, okay, that is $4,100. Okay, at the 26 degrees Celsius, we have like more number of sales happening at in 16,000. So whatever the line you're seeing here, right? So this line is basically is captured, okay? So with the help of machine learning, okay? So it will gonna understand what, how I need to draw that line, right? So plotting this particular line is one of the machine learning technique, okay? How that machine will plot it, okay? That's what the algorithms we have. Okay, so in short, so don't get confused, we'll be learning that in machine learning. It's too early to tell all these technical terms now. Okay, so in just short, you can just understand a machine learning is a type of AI, okay, which is basically getting trained from the data. Okay, so using some stats and math tools. Fine. Okay, so here we have again different things. Okay, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. Okay, we'll not get into this too advanced. Okay, just understand these are the different levels of ML. Okay, like you can see, so we have classification, we have something called regression, clustering. Okay, anomaly detections, right? So you can see, so we have various techniques, right? So which we'll be using to train our machines, okay, with help of a label data, right? So what is deep learning then? So deep learning is also a subset of ML. So if you want to get into deep learning, okay, so it comes under a DL. Okay, so what if your data is all about images and audios, right? So DL. Okay, so in short, I can say you are making a machines to learn how the humans learn. Okay, how the humans learn. Okay, and more of the DL will be solving the problem statements wherever you are lot of images. Okay, it deals with images data or video data or audio data. Okay, so you can solve this kind of problem statement with help of a DL. Okay, so this is what the AI is. Okay, so under the subset we have ML and we have a DL. So what is DL? So DL is a subset of ML. Okay, so it will solve most of the queries where the data set involves the images, videos, and audios. Okay, and even we're gonna make a machines to learn how the humans learn. Okay, so here we have a concept of something called neurons. Okay, so this is out of scope, right? So because we are not discussing DL here, I'm just giving an overview of like what is DL will be. Fine. Uh, so I'll just share this slide. You can just explore this. Okay. So we are making machines to learn how the humans learn. Okay, with the help of concepts called neurons. Fine. So this is how it looks. Okay. So deep learning. Okay. This is what the entire thing. Okay. So we have AI. Okay. We have machine learning and we have a deep learning. Okay. So if I go and check. Okay. So I'll be sharing this slide. Just walk through all these examples. Like self-driverless cars is an end product of AI, right? We have iPhones. Okay. Siri, Alexa, right? Anyone have watched this AlphaGo movie? Okay, just watch this. Okay, this is a documentary called AlphaGo. Okay, please watch this. Okay, it's very good. It's you'll understand like this is a company called AlphaGo. Okay, so just watch this. Okay, we have this in YouTube. You can just watch it. AlphaGo. Okay, so we have various examples of AI. Okay, just explore it. Okay, recommendation system. Okay, so this is where the data science and all these combinations combine. Okay, so if you observe here. Okay, so this box is basically representing the data science. Can you see? Okay, so data science is all about, can see we have, okay, first let me explain these boxes. We have a data science here, right? So this part, okay, so we have this data science here. Okay, so here we have an ML and here we have an AI. Okay, so when I talk about data science, we have a data, right? So we are extracting some meaningful information from the data. Okay, that is feature selection or something like that. Okay, we are getting some insights from the data to make some decisions, right? Human decisions. Okay. If the same data is used for the prediction, okay, so it comes under machine learning. Okay. Okay. Anything which is related to the predictions or decision making or segmentation. Okay. So everything comes under machine learning. Okay. And at the end, so whatever the action is happening, right? So it comes under AI. Okay. So in general, so AI is a broader umbrella. Okay, so inside this we have a ML, okay, then we have a DL, then we have something called NLP, natural language processing, okay, and data science is a subset. Okay, I mean like it is a subset of everything. Okay, so because the journey starts with the data, right? So that's where the data science comes. You're combining the data with the technology to build this action. Okay, so this to build certain product. Okay, so this is what the AI, data science, and ML is. Fine, got it? Okay, so you can see. Right? So it's the same definitions, whatever I've just repeated multiple times. Okay. So these are things not right now, it's not required. I've just added in slide, fine. Okay. So these are the applications. Okay. So I'll be sharing this slide in your resource section. You can just watch it. Fine. Okay. So here I just wanted to highlight one point. Okay. So when it comes to roadmap, right? So I want to become a data scientist or I want to start the journey with data science. Okay. So what is the roadmap? Okay. So we need to know about the programming languages. right? Because we have various programming languages. We have Python, we have R, we have Scala, we have Java, C++. Okay. So even in the introduction, you have heard that we can even create an AI. I mean, like we can build some kind of AI products using the different programming languages as well. But why Python is more efficient, right? So we'll look into that. Okay. So we have programming languages. That's where, because we need to interact with the systems, right? So we need to interact with our computing devices. Okay. So we need a programming language to communicate. Okay. Of course, to build ML products, right? We need a mathematics, we need statistics. Of course, we need to have the knowledge of databases, because whatever the data we are collecting, it's not, I mean, like data is too huge, right? So we need to know the concepts of like how to integrate that, how to, once we're collecting the data, way to store the data, right? So we need to know about the databases, data warehouses concepts, right? So of course, machine learning, then deep learning, then natural language processing, and cloud platforms. Why cloud platforms? Because whatever the task you're doing it in real time, it's not your local systems, right? It's somewhere in the cloud, right? So this is what a roadmap anyone to become a data scientist, right? So it's, this is specifically like comes to programming languages. You should be good in Python or R programming language. Okay, it's R, right? Either you should be good in Python or R programming. Fine. So this is mathematics. Okay, like calculus, linear algebra, statistics. If you're good into this, then it will be very easy for you to understand the algorithm, because so whatever the algorithm you're going to learn in ML, right? If you want to learn a linear regression or logistic regression, or you want to learn a k-means or PCA, okay? So whatever the algorithms you're going to learn it. So under the hood, we have a mathematics for that, okay? But in the programming, we have a library. We just import it, we build it. But to understand the intuition about the each and every algorithm, the base has to be very strong. That is calculus, linear algebra, okay? So we'll make it very simpler, okay? So in the course, so that will not be using the much of maths. Okay, we'll be using more of intuitions. Okay, when we talk about linear regression, how the linear regression model behaves. Okay, I mean, like in terms of mathematics also we'll see that. Okay, so that is like later in the course, right? uh, of course, we have various libraries when it comes to the frameworks, right? We're going to learn the NumPy, Pandas. Okay, we have something like Keras, PyTorch, or comes in the deep learning, right? Django, Flask, okay, to build some lightweight web application, we'll be using this kind of libraries and tools. Okay, so this is the broader overview of like this entire course. Okay, so how it will be in upcoming weeks. Okay, you can start. I'm just giving this idea because going forward, don't take it anything lightly, because this is a base. Okay, so whatever learning, whatever the efforts you're putting in the week one, okay, the results will be shown at the end week, because so you can't study anything in between. I mean, like you can't get into between and learn something, because whatever the base you're making it, right? Learning from the step one, that is learning from this step, programming language, make sure you put your all your efforts and start, I mean, learn perfectly. Fine. Okay, learn the programming. I mean, like, see, why we are learning programming? Because see, learning programming doesn't mean that you become a data scientist or good in like ML or something like that. Because learning programming is something whenever you are building any kind of application, whenever you want to communicate, of course, you need to communicate through programming language, right? This is the first step, right? Because put all your efforts, and how are you going to learn this language? By practice. Okay, so there is no other shortcut, guys. Okay, trust me. If you are buying 3 lakh course, or if you're buying 4 lakh course, or you're buying 300 rupees course, at the end, until you put your efforts to learn this, no one can help you, right? Okay, so even whatever the courses you have enrolled, okay, I mean, like even I have seen that, right? Even if you enrolled 3 lakh rupees, okay, paying some great amount, and you want to learn programming language, it doesn't mean that you learn there, because unless you practice it. Okay, so whatever the practice questions and whatever we are giving it, make sure you practice that, because that's very important. And even generally, what I have seen is they'll learn from this. Okay, I mean, like they have enrolled in PW, they learn from Udemy, they learn from YouTube, they learn from many such platforms. At the end, they'll not learn anything, or trust me, they'll not learn anything. Okay, it happens, I mean, with everyone. Okay, so for example, I want to learn Python. Okay, I'll start with a Python variables. Okay, Python variables will remain same irrespective of institutes. Okay, so wherever you're learning it, right? If you know what is Python variable, and if you're not practicing it, then it's a waste. Okay, so to learn a language, you need to do a lot of practice. See, it's similar to how we communicate, right? So if I don't know how to communicate in English, okay, so if I read the English book, do you think I'm able to speak in English? For example, I don't know Tamil. Okay, I don't know Malayalam. I don't know like Bhojpuri. Okay, for example, I don't know Bhojpuri. I want to learn Bhojpuri. Do you think like if I just read the Bhojpuri, I'm able to communicate like how I'm communicating in English? No, right? Similarly, if you're learning the some nuisance of the programming language, like if you're learning like what is what is variables, what is keywords, what is loops concept, okay, what is conditions, right? If you're learning it, make sure practicing it, okay? For example, you're learning all about the loop statements, make sure how the loop works, right? By writing the different examples, okay? This is how the learning has to happen. If you're just learning it by watching, okay, and if you're just this is what happens, okay? Generally we just watch like one to one and we just make a note, that's it, but we'd leave it, okay? But when we reach to that level, like up to ML level, then the people will start struggle, okay? They don't know like how the loop works, okay? Then we start some like modular programming, then people suffer like how the function works, what is classes, what is objects, right? This is what generally happens is, I'm just alerting from the day one, make sure to learn programming, practice it, okay? So don't ever go for blame game, because this is a true fact, okay? So whether whatever I've said, it's true, because if you're paying a 3 lakh rupees or 300 rupees course, okay, both the courses will have the same contents, okay? But until you practice it, it is not possible you to learn the programming, okay? Just write this down, okay? So whatever the daily practice questions you're getting even in the course, try to solve it, okay? And don't keep it at the end, so that at the end during the certification, like what happens, like after the end of the course, we'll have certain criteria to generate certificate. So people just start solving questions that time, and just to get the certificate they solve it. Please don't do that, okay? To get certificate, don't do that, okay? So even if you're getting from PW Skills or you're getting from IIT Guwahati or IIT Madras, if you don't know these skills, if you don't know the programming, no one will hire you. That's a truth. This is a true fact. Okay, even if you're doing a course from IIT Madras also, and if you're doing a course from PW Skills also, it doesn't matter. Okay, so what matters is skills. Okay, trust. Just put more efforts on learning the skills and doing the projects. Okay, so this is what it's main important thing to get a job, okay? So if you're not doing these things, no one can help you, okay? Trust me, this is, mark my words, okay? Skills projects. So work on this, you'll get a job. If you are want this certificate, no, none of the certificates will help you, okay? So even if you're doing some advanced certificates also doesn't help you, okay? Because we have job market right now, we have a lot of openings, because we have many openings, okay? When it comes to data science, if you go to LinkedIn and just search for data analyst, data engineer, or data scientist, we have a lot of openings in all the domains, okay? But people are not able to crack those interviews only because of lack of skills. They are learning because they want to get certificate, okay? Don't do like that, okay? So learn it, put your efforts. You'll have certain goals, right? I mean, like at the end of the course, I want to get into so and so company, this is what my goal is, okay? Just mark that goal, okay? Like for example, you may be, because this course is designed for the college, I'm like fourth year, if you're in college level, right? So of course we will have certain targets, okay? At the end of the fourth year, this is what the companies I'm looking, okay? So this is what I'm looking for, right? So just based on that, plan it, right? So just try to solve some good try to build some good projects, right? So based on that, so you'll be able to have certain plan, okay? So even like try to make a lot of connections in the LinkedIn, okay? Just try to get to know the people who are already in this domain, okay? Who are working already as data scientists, get the inputs from them, okay? And the same inputs, what I'm conveying, right? The same inputs until you have, until you don't have skills and you don't have the ability to, in terms of problems solving, no one will hire you guys, okay? Trust me, this is very important, because every time when we launch course, this is not I'm experiencing this first time. I have handled this kind of batch, I mean like multiple batches, but the end of the result will be there are very few people who actually complete the course, actually complete the course. They do all the assignments and they are able to make a transition into data science or Python developer or whatever the role they are looking for, okay? But don't learn only because of the certificate, okay? Or only because you're learning for it, okay? Please don't do that. Put all your efforts, because as a PW team, okay, so we are having multiple channels to help you guys, okay? So we have a recorded, right? This is one way, like where you are getting an early record, I mean like recording videos of each and every topic. Second, you have a revision sessions, right? I mean like where the revision sessions not about, I'm like same thing, we are repeating same thing, okay? we put effort so that we learn some extra things in the revision class also. Even we have a practice classes. And moreover, we are learning from multiple mentors. Okay, you're learning from me. So whatever the experience I have gained from so many years working in Amazon or EMC Square, any other companies, I'm sharing that with you, right? So even we have a people, right? Ekta ma'am, even she has worked in different companies. Even she may share all her experience with you, right? Vishwa sir, right? Of course, like so many years of experience working in LinkedIn, and of course he may share his experience, right? So learn from all the mentors. Okay, your point is to just make a note of this and just grab all the information what we are giving it. At the end, everyone should be happy. Okay, so I want all people to get placed in some good companies, and this is what our target will be. Fine. So so this will be our end of our first part, right? So to just to understand what is data science. Okay. So I believe if someone has what is data science, just explain them like we need a combination of domain expertise as well as a technology. Okay. So where we generally extract the meaningful information from the data, right? So what is AI? So in simple and short form, okay, which mimics a human behavior. Okay. I mean, like we have a ML. Okay. We are making a machines to learn by itself. Okay, okay, by using some stats and math tools and techniques. And deep learning, even here also we're making machines to learn, but how we making a machines to learn using like how the humans learn. Okay, so here we have a concept of neurons. Okay, so you can just improvise this basic definitions into some more advanced definition as you proceed in the course, right? So this is just to understand what is data science, what is AI, what is ML, and what is DL. And slides will be shared to you, don't worry. Okay, and the next will start with specifically like what is Python. Okay, so what they have covered in the week one, we're going to revise that. Okay, so then we'll wrap it. Fine. So we'll take 5 minutes break. Okay, then we'll start. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So let's start. Okay. So let's start our actual revision. Okay. So this is what I just wanted to start with. But yeah, I just want to give a brief introduction about like data science. Fine. Okay. So our week one started with introduction to programming, right? So can you just tell me like what is programming? Why we need programming? What are actually the programming languages? Yeah. So what is programming language? So what is programming language? Good. To interact with the machines, right? So in simple and short, okay. So what is actually the languages? How you do you, I mean, like you use, okay. So for example, if you want to communicate with your friends, right? What generally you do? Like you speak in certain language, right? So either you speak in Hindi, right? You speak in English, okay, or whatever the language, right? So you're gonna speak it, and this person able to understand because you're speaking in this language, right? So similarly, if I want to interact with my a computer or a computing machine, right? So if I want to interact, so as a person, so if I want to give a certain task to machine, right? So what is the task? I can give a task to add two numbers. Okay, simple calculator, right? If I want to tell a machine to add two numbers, okay, so I need a way, right? I need certain syntax, or I need a certain kind of a vocabulary or certain keywords, okay, which will convey the machine that this person is asking me to do a task that is adding two numbers, right? So if I want to communicate, when I say like I want to give a task, okay, the task could be anything, right? So the task could be a simple calculator, or a task could be some ML, right? I want to build certain model, or the task could be like I just want to get this data from different places, right? So task could be anything. Okay, so if I want to give any task to a computer, so I need a language to communicate, right? So that is an intuition of programming language. Okay, so if I want to communicate with the computers or a computing machines, so I need a language just to communicate. So in short, so can I say like programming language? So if I were just wanted to write a basic definition, so I can just write a programming language. Okay, so I'll just write a programming language is a vocabulary, right? Is is a vocabulary and a set of grammatical rules, right? A set of grammatical rules for instructing computers, right? For for instructing a computer to perform specific task. To perform specific task, in short, right? So task could be anything. As I told, so it could be to add two numbers, simple, or else I can do some data cleaning, okay, or I can say like build this model, okay, build this model. So task could be anything, okay. So if I want to communicate with the machine, so I need to use a programming language, right? So we have a different programming language, okay, because like the machines will understand only the zeros and ones, correct? Okay, so that's we have already seen, right? So machines will just understand the zeros and ones. Okay, so we have a different types of programming language. Can you name different types of programming language? Okay, so we have a different types of programming language. We have Python, right? So we have Python, okay. So we have R, right? We have C, we have C++, okay. We have something called Scala, okay. So we have Java, right? And we have various programming languages, n number of programming languages, okay. So, but in our course, okay, so we are starting with the Python, okay. So we have already seen why Python is selected. Why Python has been chosen for the data science. That's good, Priyanka. So they have explained about the procedural object oriented, right? So why Python? Why Python? Easy syntax, yes. Okay. Then open source, good. Then in terms of efficiency, right? A lot of libraries, yes. All around, yeah. So in short, if I just wanted to write, okay, now can you tell me? So Python, okay, what is meaning of compiler as well as interpreter? What is compiler interpreter? So if I just specifically talk about Python, right? So Python is interpreted language, right? Okay. And it is even object oriented. Okay. Basically, I can bring some real world entities into programming. This is what the object oriented is, right? Object oriented. And it's a high level language. It's a high level programming language. Okay, so why I've written a Python as interpreted? Okay, so let's try to understand what is meaning of interpreter and compiler, right? So if I just so first let me explain about the compiler. Okay, so you have written some kind of code here. Okay, because I want to communicate with the machine, I have written some kind of code. Okay, so what the compiler does is, okay, so we have a compiler here. Okay, we have a compiler. So this compiler basically converts that into machine code. Okay, we have something called machine code. Okay, and this machine code will be passed again. I'll be getting some kind of output. Okay, so based on whatever the code I've written. Okay, so what the meaning of compiler? Okay, so it will basically take the entire code, compile it. Okay, compile even converts this whatever the code in the machine language and give it as an output. Okay, what is meaning of interpreter? So interpreter will have also have a source code, right? It will also have a code, but we don't have compiler here. Instead, we have something called interpreter. Okay, so we have an interpreter. So this interpreter will not convert into a machine learning ML code. Okay. So I mean like machine code, it will directly give the output. Okay. So there is a lot of debate. Okay. So happening, okay, for the Python. So Python actually internally converts some, I mean like code into a subcode, I mean like machine code. Okay. So there is a lot of debate happening whether the Python is called as interpreter language or a compiler language. Okay. So this is the third task I'm giving to you. Just try to identify the Python is classified as interpreter language. Okay. Why? Okay. Why? This is a task. Okay. Please try to identify it. Okay. So we have in code. I have just explained what is compiler interpreter. Okay. So compiler will take the entire code, convert into machine code and give the output. But interpreter will not do that. Okay. It will go line by line. Okay. So it's the entire code and it's a line by line code. Fine. That's good. Okay, Sujin has already told bytecode, right? So actually internally what Python does is, even though there is no compiler, the interpreter will just interpret the code and convert that into something called bytecode. Okay, so because of this nature, even they say this Python is also a compiler language. Okay, they say like both compiler and interpreter, but in broader perspective, the Python is an interpreted language. Fine. So this is what, okay, and what all things we can do with the Python. Okay, so we have various things which we can do it. I'll just list them out. Okay, we can do system programming, right? Basic, I mean like starting with the programming, right? So we can do system programming, right? So we can do system programming. We can build something called GUI. What is meaning of GUI? What is meaning of GUI? Graphical user interface. Have you heard about this? Graphical user interface. What is GUI? Graphical user interface, like whatever the interface. Okay. So we have something called tkinter. Okay. So this is a library from with help of this we can build a graphical user interface using Python. Okay. So we can do a web scraping, right? Extracting the data from some web applications, right? So I can manage the databases. Okay, so these are the tasks, I mean, like task which is performed by the Python. Okay, we can do system programming, we can build a graphical user interface, we can do web scraping. Okay, even we can manage the databases, right? So manage databases, like I can connect with SQL, okay, MongoDB, right? If you don't know this, no issues. Okay, so we're gonna explore that later on. Okay, even we can do what scientific programming also, right? Even we can do image processing. Okay, so image processing. Okay, yes, web development, we can do that backend, right? So even we can play with robotics. Okay, we can have the automation. And by default, of course, we can do a lot of ML, data science, data mining, right? There are different tasks which can do it in with help of Python, right? Web development. Okay, so IoT, fine. So even we can do embedded systems. We can play with embedded systems. You can see like we have a n number of applications. Okay, n number of applications in Python. Okay, in Python. Okay, so the list goes on. Okay, even you can do with the network and cyber security. You can combine with networks, cyber security. You can do data mining, of course, ML by default. Okay, object detections. Okay, so there are various applications. Okay, so in Python. Okay, so in this course, we're gonna explore all about the Python, right? So we started with a very basic thing like what is keywords, what is identifiers. Okay, like how to start the Google Colab, and we have understood about the environment also. So what is the environment? So as explained, like I'm like taking I mean like easy example, like to understand the environment. What is meaning of environment? Environment. Okay, as a human, right? So if I want to stay in this environment, I need to have certain temperature. Of course, I need air, right? Similarly, any program to work in the laptop, right? So we need that environment, right? Correct, right? So to run our code specifically, right? So in our I mean, like in the recording, they're using Google Colab. We have a different environments, right? So we have a different environments from where we can write a code, right? Even we can use an IDEs, that is integrated development environments, right? So we have a different environments there. Okay. So if I just go here, okay, we have different environments. So this is one of the options where you can use Google Colab. And to getting into Google Colab is very simple, right? So if I wanted to go to Google Colab, just go to Google Colab. And from here, I can create a multiple notebooks. Okay. So this we call it as a notebooks here, right? This is what they call as notebooks, right? Yeah. So I can create a multiple notebooks. Fine. So in lab, okay. So I'll show you in the lab. Okay. So going forward, how you can just use the lab just to practice and everything. Okay. So let me sign in. Okay. So here we have something called PW Skills Lab. Okay. Go to PW Skills Lab and okay. So in the PW Skills Lab, go to My Labs. Okay. So in the My Labs, this is what the labs I have. Okay. So if you want to create a new labs, go to Lab Templates. Okay, and in here we have a different lab templates, right? So we have Conda, okay? So with respect to domains like big data, okay? So with respect to big data, we have different labs here. With respect to data analytics, data science, programming, web development, you can go to data science. And if you just scroll down here, we have something called Jupyter notebook, okay? So just select this Jupyter notebook and you can give your lab name, okay? You can say my first lab, okay? My first practice lab. And here we have something called GitHub, okay? How many know about the GitHub? What is GitHub? And have heard about the GitHub? Okay, okay, we'll explore this. Okay, so what is GitHub and how to create a repositories and how to push the code and everything. So right now you just select no. Okay, so right now you just select no because what is GitHub? This different topic. Okay, we'll explore that. Okay, so I'm just starting a new lab and I'm selecting a no. Okay, I'm not getting any clone from the any GitHub. Okay, so I click on proceed. Okay, so once you click on proceed, so your lab environment will be get created. Okay, Okay. So once this is open, so here we have something called notebook. Okay. Just click onto this notebook, Python notebook, and this is the notebook. Okay. So whatever you're practicing in the Google Colab, right? So you can do it in PW Skills Lab as well. Okay. For the first, okay, we'll start with the very basic, okay, like print statement. So what the print statement does? You just print it whatever I type, right? So I'll just type hello PW skills, right? Hello PW skills. So when I execute this, I'm getting high PW skills. Okay. So you can just so how you add a new cell. For example, I'm just writing same thing once again, like okay, I'll just create a variable called X. I'll just store a 10 here. Okay. So let me execute this. And if I type X, I'm getting 10, right? So how I'm executing, like control C, for example, control enter will execute the cell, or else you can just click onto this. Okay. Okay, so here they have yeah, so here they have told keyboard shortcut is control enter. Okay, and this lab shortcut to execute this cell is shift enter. Okay, so you can use either way, or else you can, if you type alt enter, it will execute and give the new cell. Okay, for example, if I just write here pw high once again, and if I just type alt enter, right, so it will execute this and give me the new cell. Okay, if I just do control enter, it will just execute. It will not create a new cell for me. Okay, these are some of the shortcuts where you can work efficiently. Okay, so this is how you start a lab. Got it? Understood? Or do you want me to show once again how to create a lab? Okay, this is one of the environment. Okay, where you can just practice all your assignments and keep it at one place, right? So that even if they ask to submit some kind of assignments, you can just rename it here. For example, untitled one. So if someone is given the assignment, you can just rename this. I can just write this is a day one or something like that. Okay, and all your notes will be maintained here. Okay, if you want to download it, just right click download as IPYNB file. Okay, so this is how you're gonna start your labs. Fine. Okay, so first we'll start with the keyword. So what is meaning of keyword? It's already been explained. Right? So what is keyword? Yeah, what is keywords? So keywords are basically a reserved words, right? So which you can't use for your variable creation. Okay, so okay, first we'll start to understand what actually the variables is, right? So in short, you can just think of variables as some a bag of words, right? So okay. So assume like you have a bag, right? So I just wanted to store some kind of objects inside my bag. Okay. So here the bag acts as a memory location, and whatever you're storing is basically is a data, right? So if I want to store a data, okay. So in my memory location, I of course I need to create a something called a variables, right? So to create that variables, I need to give a name for that. Okay. So that's what the meaning of identifiers is. Okay. So identifiers is generally you're giving a user defined names. Okay. For example, so I can give, can create different names to this. Okay. So if I just cancel this out, and here I've given X, right? If I just give it as hi equal to something, okay, a world. Okay. So if I try to fetch hi, I'm getting world, right? So if I just wanted to store y is equal to or ym equal to some 34. Okay. If I just print what is ym, okay, I'm getting 34, right? So this is a user defined names. Okay. So whatever the names you're giving it, okay, it's basically a variable names. And we have a certain criteria for this. Okay. We have a naming conventions. I mean, like what kind of names you need to give it, okay, when you are creating some kind of identifiers. So in short, identifiers are a name given to a variable, okay, even a function and a class or a module. Okay. So anyways, we have not studied what is function, class and modules. So in short, so whatever the names you're giving during a programming, right? So that names we call as the identifiers, right? So we can give any names, but there are certain restrictions. So what are the rules for that? Can anyone just highlight what are the rules? The rules is it cannot be a reserved words first. Okay, so now we need to understand what is reserved words, right? So what is meaning of reserved or keywords? So these words are actually defined by the Python developer itself, right? Like in and print. Okay, I can't use print to store. Like for example, I can't write a print equal to some 10. Why? Because a print is a keyword, right? So print is a keyword. I can't use a print as a keyword. So even I can't use a true, right? So true is a keyword. I can't write true is equal to 3. Sorry, 2 is equal to 2. So can't assign to true. Why? Because this is a keyword. Okay, so how to identify the multiple different types of keywords in a programming language with help of help keyword. Okay, we have false, right? We have false, we have break, we have if, and, or, okay, yield. There are multiple keywords. Okay, so that you'll learn as we proceed. Okay, no need to mug up or bat anything. So just remember, so keywords are the reserved words which you cannot use it for the variable creation. Okay, so this is the first criteria. Okay, so what is the first criteria for identifiers? So it cannot, so it cannot, okay, so it cannot be reserved words, right? Cannot be reserved Python keyword. Fine. So what is the second? So second is it should not contain white space, right? So it should not contain, I'm just writing in short, okay? So it does not contain white space, white space, right? So you can just check that, right? So for example, if I want to create, okay, so this is equal to 10, okay? So I'll get, okay, a error, right? If this is a z equal to 10, so I can't give space, right? It's invalid syntax, fine. So even, so I can, even I should not start with a number, right? So yeah, so it should not start with numbers. Okay. So already this note has been shared, right? So even I can say like 2x equal to some 23. So I'll get a syntax error, right? So this is how we create a variables. So just remember the a general a rule to create a variables. Okay. So no need to mug up or add anything. Okay. So make sure whenever you're giving a name, so it should be meaningful. Okay. For example, if you want to create a sum of some, for example, sum of two numbers, you can use underscores like sum of underscore sum of numbers. Okay. Okay. Can assign that to some value 10. Okay. So this is, you need to give the variable name so that anyone, if someone is watching your, I'm like checking your code, it should be able to understand what is the variable is talking about, right? So we have multiple rules, right? Even it should not contain any special characters, right? That's correct. Okay. It should not contain any special characters. Okay. Other than underscore, right? You can't use at the rate, this or this, right? So not. Okay, so these are these certain criterias for the identifiers. Fine. So how we write comments in here? So we have single line comment, right? You can start with this. Yeah. Yes. So this is single line comment. So if you want whatever you're going to type it, okay, so it will be the comments, right? So I can write, so this is my code. Okay. So how to write a multi-line comments? Okay. What is multi-line? For example, if you want to write two comments, okay, this is a first line, right? So if I write this is a first line, and in the second I can write this. So this is second line. Okay. So I need to keep on writing it. Okay. So what is the shortcut to write a multi-line? Triple quotes, right? That's good. Okay. Triple quotes, can write whatever the comments is, right? And you can just close it. Okay. Okay, even you can write a single quotes also, three times single quotes. Okay, so even we have something called docstring. What is docstring? So going forward, when you learn functions, right? So inside the functions, if I want to convey, okay, what that function does, okay. So even we have a docstring. So there also we use these triple quotes, right? So with that, we're going to learn when you go for functions topics. Just understand what is variable, how to create a variable, and what is simple print statement, right? And how to I mean, like write comments here, okay? And so whatever you're writing here in the Python programming, everything is a statements. Okay. So you have different levels of statements. Okay. So I mean, like if you're writing even a single line of code, that is a statement. That's we call a statement in a Python programming, right? So we have different levels of statements. Okay. So like assignment statement. So this is an assignment statement, right? I'm assigning something to a variable. Okay. This is one of the statement. Okay. So these are even this also statement like print statement, right? So this is what I mean, like in the week one, you should know. I mean, like how to create variables, okay, how to print certain stuff, right, and how to write a comment. That's it. Okay, in the upcoming weeks we'll have a more number of topics. Okay, I'm like in depth. Okay, what is loops, what is if statements, what is conditional statements, input statements. Okay, so I mean like there are various basics which you need to know. Okay, so which is very helpful like later on in the oops concept, right? So do a lot of practice. But right now, even the practice assignments are very simple. Only the theoretical question just to understand what actually the Python identifiers is, what are the rules to create an identifiers, right? So this is what the stuff you should know by this week. And from the next week, the Ekta will be taking, okay, and she'll be covering all the revisions. I mean, like whatever the topics has been covered in week two, and she'll be starting with that. Okay, so and yes, if you have any queries, right, just raise your hand. I'll ask you to unmute and you can ask me the queries. Okay. Uh, okay. So first we have. Um okay. So Priyanshu, yes, what's your doubt? So Shri, the docstring comments is basically like when you go and create some function. Okay. So let me give you the example here. One second. Okay, let me share my screen. Someone asked about docstring, right? So I hope you can see my screen, right? So can you see? So here, because you don't know how to create a function, so I just skip that because you need to know what is this def, right? So in short, you can see this is a one function, right? So inside this function, this is a docstring. What is the docstring is telling? So it will convey like what this function is doing it, right? Like for example, that the foo function needs to be implemented. Currently, this function does nothing. Okay. So even if we're creating a classes and objects, okay. So even you can create a docstring inside that class and classes, right? So this is what a docstring. So it's similar to the multi-line string, okay, so starting with triple quotes. Okay. So just understand this is one of the type of comments which you can enter inside a function or classes, right? So what is class and what is function? We're going to discuss. Okay. How to know if the indentation is correct? Okay, so because Python is an indentation language, right? Like for example, in C programming, you'll use that colons, right? Semicolon, right? But in the Python, you use indentation. That is, you'll understand by practice itself because whenever you're using like a for or any statements, okay, you'll use the indentation just to tell that it's under that particular statements you're talking about. Okay, so that comes in because right now we are not getting to any of the indentation, right? So we'll understand. Okay, so as we proceed, when we teach any of the syntax, okay, so you need to follow the syntax. For example, if we are teaching if statement, so how the if statement works and where is the indentation, and inside that indentation, what are the statements you need to write it, right? So we're going to explain that, right? Four space indentation. Yeah. So generally it will have the four spaces. Okay. So what is that four spaces? That will that we'll understand once we go to that those topics. Okay. Right now, this is what the basics you should know according to me. Okay, you should know just general how to create variables, some rules, right, and how to write a comment. That is enough. Okay. In upcoming weeks, we can extend this. Okay, into more number of questions. Okay, Rahul. Six people have raised the hand. Okay, so yes, Rahul, yes, what's your doubt? If you have doubts, you can raise your hand. Okay, I'll address it. Or you want to ask something? Okay, I'll share this PPT. Okay, in the group. Don't worry, I'll share. Okay. Yes, Rahul, not audible. Sorry.
हेलो.
Yes, Manish,
सर
go
आई
ahead.
एम ऑडिबल.
Yes, is you audible? Please tell me.
या सर ये जो डाटा साइंस का कोर्स है क्या ये इनफ होगा प्लेसमेंट के लिए?
ये आप पहले आपका बैकग्राउंड बताइए. इफ यू आर न्यू टू दिस और यू हैव ऑलरेडी आई मीन लर्न सम काइंड ऑफ लाइक एमएल और
नो
अपने
नो
पहले.
सर.
ओके
नो
दिस.
सर आई एम अ सेकंड ईयर स्टूडेंट फ्रेशर.
हाँ, तो आप पहले ही एमएल फोकस अप टू एमएल बिकॉज अगर आपने ये फर्स्ट कोर्स खत्म कर लिया यू कैन गो टू देन डीएल एंड एनएलपी बिकॉज right now in the job market you should know up to NLP. If you're good up to NLP then it's a great opportunities. Okay, because right now in second year no issues, you can just complete up to ML because up to if you know up to ML then you easily can jump to NLP also, even you can jump to deep learning also because machine learning is a basics, it's a root. Okay, if you know up to there, then you can jump to any other domains. Okay,
इज
but
सर
to
डीएसए
to fetch a
कंपल्सरी?
job, yes, to fetch a job, you should know up to I mean like all this deep learning, NLP, and other concepts because nowadays in real time when you apply for these jobs, right? So they're looking for this kind of skills, right? Nowadays we have everything automation, okay, like ChatGPT and everything. Okay, you should know these skills. Yes, DSA is mandatory. Okay, if you're a fresher college student, in certain rounds, okay, so first they'll have the programming round and DSA. Okay, wait. where you need to know the basics of DSA. It's not like advanced level. If you want to get into as a data scientist, yes, the basic level of DSA is required. Until you're looking for some specific role like Python developer, you want to get into some developer role, then yes, like DSA is like you need to know up to advanced level. But you're targeting for ML engineer or any
Data
other,
science.
yeah, data science or data analyst or big data. So DSA, I mean, like, yeah, it's not that mandatory, but if you know, it's good.
Basic only.
Yeah, basics. If you know the basics, it's good. But if you're targeting for Python developer kind of roles, then you need to know the DSA, okay, in depth.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Manish. Uh, Avinash.
Yes, sir. I have some doubt related to data science.
Yes, yes, please tell me. Yeah,
सर डेटा साइंस में जो डेटा एनालिस्ट का कोर्स रहता है मतलब
correct.
एनालिस्ट का काम रहता है वो भी करना पड़ेगा सर डेटा साइंस में.
नहीं नहीं, ऐसे नहीं होता है। तो कंपनीज में क्या होता है, हर एक का अलग अलग रोल्स होता है। जैसे जब हम डेटा जर्नी की बात करते हैं, सो वी स्टार्ट विथ अ बिग डेटा, ठीक है। तो बिग डेटा इंजीनियर्स होते हैं, उनका काम क्या होता है, देखो ना, पुल द डेटा फ्रॉम वेरियस डेटा सोर्सेज। वो क्या करते हैं, डेटा को कलेक्ट करते हैं, उसका डेटा पाइपलाइन बन कर, मतलब दे गोना बिल्ड डेटा पाइपलाइन। मतलब डेटा पाइपलाइन का मतलब क्या है, जहाँ से वो डेटा आ रहा है उसको हम पाइपलाइन बोलते हैं। ओके, उसको डिजाइन करते हैं, जहाँ पर उनको सिस्टम डिजाइन का कॉन्सेप्ट पता होना है, ठीक है। देयर आर डिफरेंट पीपल, ओके, विल बी वर्किंग ऑन दिस डेटा कलेक्शन, डेटा स्टोरेज, ठीक है, वो अलग सेगमेंट हो गया। तो डेटा एनालिस्ट क्या करता है, जो भी वो डेटा आ रहा है उस डेटा को, कुछ ऐसे डेटा होता है जहां पर उसको एनालाइज करके दे गोना शेयर विद द क्लाइंट्स। मतलब जहां पर उनको कोई भी सेगमेंट में कुछ भी ग्रोथ करना है, राइट, सो दे गोना डिस्कस दैट विद दैट, राइट, एंड वो डैशबोर्ड्स बिल्ड करते हैं, ओके, बेस्ड ऑन द वॉट एवर द एनालिसिस दे डूइंग इट। ये अलग
सर
सेगमेंट हो गया। डेटा
जैसे
साइंस क्या करता है, हाँ, सो डेटा साइंटिस्ट में क्या होता है, इफ दे वांट टू इम्प्रोवाइज सेल्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रेडिक्शन, लाइक उनको देखना पड़ेगा, लाइक नेक्स्ट बिग बिलियन डे, जैसे फ्लिपकार्ट है, राइट। तो अब जो भी इनका करंट डेटा है, सो हाउ दे कैन इम्प्रोवाइज द सेल्स फॉर द नेक्स्ट बिग बिलियन डे, और दे वांट टू मेक अ प्रेडिक्शन, और उनको एक कुछ रिकमेंडेशन या पर्सनलाइज एक्सपीरियंस बनाना है, जहां पर वो सारा प्रेडिक्शंस का बात कर रहा है या मॉडल बिल्डिंग के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, जहां पर सिर्फ डेटा साइंटिस्ट विल बी वर्किंग ऑन द ML पार्ट, will not be doing any kind of dashboard building और data analysis, ऐसे भी काम नहीं करेगा, ठीक है। so he'll be working on those
ओके
parts।
सर जैसे सर मेरा 1 साल गैप है तो जॉब में सर प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा सर 1 ईयर
uh,
गैप.
नहीं नहीं, एक साल में कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा। सो मेक श्योर यू हैव ए रेलेवेंट रीजन फॉर लाइक व्हाई वाज द गैप वाज, ठीक है। अब उसको मतलब कवर अप कर सकते हो इन टर्म्स ऑफ इंटर्नशिप, ठीक है। जैसे आपने इंटर्नशिप किया है सर्टन का, मतलब कवर अप इन द सेंस लाइक आप बोल सकते हो कि यू आर एनरोल्ड इन सर्टन कोर्स एंड यू आर डूइंग द इंटर्नशिप देयर, ठीक है, आप ऐसे भी बोल सकते हो। मतलब जब आप बोलोगे इट शुड मेक सेंस। मतलब कई लोग बोलते हैं कि बिकॉज ऑफ फैमिली हेल्थ वी एक साल हमने नहीं किया, मतलब ऐसे होता है ना, जनरली इंटरव्यूज में ऐसे बोलते हैं, ठीक है, फैमिली इश्यूज होता, पर्सनल प्रॉब्लम, मतलब ये थोड़ा ओल्ड हो गया, कोई मानने को, मतलब नो वन विल लिसन टू यू, ठीक है। सो मेक श्योर यू
सर
सम एजुकेशनल रिलेटेड कुछ ऐसे बोल दो, सो दैट यू आर टेकिंग सर्टन ब्रेक्स, okay, you are exploring this particular domain and you want to make a transition, so I took a time to learn all those things and I was exploring, ये थोड़ा valid reason रहेगा, ठीक है, so you can just say it।
ओके ओके सर सर ये बेसिक नॉलेज होना चाहिए सर एक्सेल और सीक्वल और पावर बीआई का
हाँ, तो
डेटा
सी,
साइंस.
बिकॉज आप बिगिनर हो, राइट, सो इफ यू आर गेटिंग इनटू दिस डेटा इंडस्ट्री, सो एनीवन इन द डेटा इंडस्ट्री दे फील दैट यू शुड नो एटलीस्ट द बेसिक्स। जैसे एक्सेल हो गया, राइट, गूगल शीट्स हो गया, तो यू शुड नो हाउ टू वर्क विद द डेटा इन एक्सेल एंड गूगल शीट्स, ये बेसिक है। एंड एनी प्रोग्रामिंग पाइथन, ये थोड़ा प्री रिक्विजिट है। मतलब इफ यू आर गेटिंग इनटू एनी रिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ एनी डोमेन, यू शुड नो दिस टूल, जैसे एक्सेल को यूज करना कैसे पता होना है, गूगल शीट्स, मतलब ये सारे बेसिक बेसिक टूल्स यू शुड नो इट, इट्स
ओके
मैंडेटरी,
सर
ठीक है।
थैंक यू सर.
Okay, thanks. Avinash? No. Okay, Manish Kumar. I've just unmuted Manish Kumar, Rahul, Koye. Like, if you want to ask me in chat, that's okay. I'm not IT background. No, no. See, there are people who are from BCom, BA, they're able to make a transition because we don't have any such prerequisites, okay? Because, see, in the data science, we need to learn statistics. Okay, generally, science students won't learn statistics, right? I mean, like, when they are in science domain, they learn physics, chemistry, bio, but they won't learn statistics. It doesn't mean that they'll not get job, right? Even in the BCom, they learn statistics somewhere at the point, right? I mean, like basic mathematics, but they'll not learn, I mean, like the technology Python, okay? So it's not about the domain from where you're coming from. It's all about the skills and the learning which you're making it, okay? So don't worry if you're from MCA, BCA, or whatever the degrees you're doing it, okay? Don't worry. If you want to get into this domain, okay, make sure you know the skills in terms of like programming, in terms of data cleaning or tools like Excel, Power BI, some basic Power BI, right? About the basic ML, okay, building the projects, okay, entry level, okay. So once you're are up to that mark, then start learning more and more like computer vision, NLP, okay. But a start has to be a good, right? So keep it simple, okay. So don't make it too complicated. But if you're worried about jobs, don't worry. If you have that skills, no, anyone from any background will hire you, okay. If you showcase that skills, because companies are looking for the skilled person, not for like if you are done from MCA or BCA or you have done BTech or doesn't matter. Fine. Yes, internship. Yes, internship. You can do it from PW Skills. We have an experience portal, right? So once you're up to that mark, okay, if you are reached up to ML, then you can go to experience portal. Just enroll into some internship. It's a self-placed internship, right? You can do your internship on your own, okay. And yes, but what I encourage is instead of that internships, even think of your like ideas, okay. I mean, like what you can make changes in certain problem statements. So when I'm taking up projects, when I'm talking about skills and projects, right? The project is not our institute projects, okay. You practice it, okay. I increase that you do our projects, you take some other institute project, do it. But when you're displaying something in a resume, make sure it's a unique and there has to be some inputs from your side. It's not our projects. Don't put our PW skill project in your resume and get the job. It will never work and even will not get it also, okay. So make sure you put your insights, your research, okay. Think in that manner. That's what I'm talking about, okay. So think in that manner. You get an idea, right? So when you do our projects or some other projects, you'll get an idea about like how to solve certain problems. Then go and look. Okay, we have a Kaggle, right? So we have a lot of Kaggle competition. It's the open source. Many people contribute their work in the Kaggle, right? Just contribute your work there and get highlighted. Be a Kaggle master, right? So this, in terms of this, you'll be able to grow daily, right? So this is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about do projects means like just go and check in YouTube, do some project, put it in a resume. It will not work. Right? सर इस कोर्स में हम हमें कितना सीखने को मिलेगा लाइक अप टू एमएल आप सीख जाओगे ठीक है अप टू एमएल जो जो पढ़ाएगा जाएगा राइट सो जस्ट ट्राई टू एक्सप्लोर दैट अबाउट इट how to become a good data analyst, okay, if you're tagging Arsalan, okay, so he's asking like how to become a good data analyst, okay, for the analyst, right? So five things, okay, starting with Excel spreadsheet generally, okay, so Excel, Google Sheets, fine. And the second, okay, any one programming language, Python, okay. So third, SQL is like a mother, it's a master, okay, you should know in and out about the SQL, okay, you should know everything, subqueries, Windows function, all the advanced concepts of SQLs, right? So then database and data warehouses concepts, ETL concepts, and one visualization tool, okay, like Power BI, Tableau, okay. If you know these skills, right? So yes, easily you can apply for interviews, and of course you'll get an opportunity to explore yourself, like whether you're able to answer those questions, or you'll get a job, okay, if you know these five skills. Then you can keep on adding it, okay, learning about the data warehouse concept, data modeling. Okay, even you can learn a bit of ML also, right? Because right now we have everything automation. Okay, we have a tools where whatever the work has been done by data analysts, that everything is automated by AI tools. Like you need to know how to integrate data analysis with the chat GPT, right? So nowadays we have something called prompt engineering. You should know how to interact with chatbots, right? So this is how you need to keep on upskilling. Okay, but entry, this is with the five skills which you need. Fine. I'm sharing my email address in chat. Okay. So in case if I missed any queries, because in chat there are so many queries, mdpw.live. Okay. You can send it to me as a person. This is my pw, sorry, it's md dot a at pw.live. Okay. So if you have any specific queries and you want to address it or any doubts with any certain topics, right? So you can just send it to this email address. I'll reply it. Fine. Okay.
सर क्या हम डेटा साइंस में ये एसक्यूएल पावर बीआई सब सीखेंगे?
इस कोर्स में हाँ, सो इस कोर्स में आपको यस पाइथन के बाद हम फ्लास्क सीक्वल भी सीखेंगे सारा अप टू एमएल आप सिलेबस चेक कर सकते हो तो जो आपने बताया वी गोना लर्न दैट सीक्वल यस मनीष राइट ओके
सर जैसे जो आज आपने टॉपिक पढ़ा है उसके क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस कहाँ से करें? आप अपलोड करेंगे या कोई अदर? साइट
कौन से
से।
क्वेश्चन? हाँ, सी जो मैंने एक्चुअली वो बहुत बेसिक था, इसमें कुछ आज का सेशन बहुत सिंपल था। इट वाज लाइक नॉट अबाउट एनीथिंग इन प्रोग्रामिंग, वाज सिंपल वेरिएबल्स, प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट। गोइंग फॉरवर्ड आपको डैशबोर्ड में ही दिखाई देगा, ठीक है, मतलब प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस, असाइनमेंट क्वेश्चंस, ठीक है, जहां पर आपको असाइनमेंट सॉल्व करना है। ओके, मतलब यूजिंग गूगल कोलैब और समथिंग, आप उसको डाउनलोड करिए, यू नीड टू सबमिट इट, वो आपको मिल जाएगा, ठीक है। अभी थोड़ा फ्रेश वीक है ना, इट्स लाइक एंट्री वीक, तो इसमें कुछ है नहीं। गोइंग फॉरवर्ड आपको इतने असाइनमेंट्स मिलेंगे, आपको टाइम भी नहीं मिलेगा, ठीक है। सो वो आपको मिल जाएगा, ठीक है, इट विल बी अपलोड इन डैशबोर्ड। और आज को जो मेरे नोट्स थे स्लाइड्स के, आई एम जस्ट शेयरिंग दैट विद अभिषेक, वो आपको ग्रुप में डाल देगा, ठीक है। Yes, any other queries? Okay. Yes, yes, Aslan, the slides has been sent to Abhishek. He'll upload it. Okay. So does master degree opens more opportunity for data scientists? Uh, I told right already. So whether you have done BTech, MTech, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Okay. See, degree. I know like a degree is something which is required to prove your education qualification, but it doesn't mean. See, there are people, okay, who have done BA, BCom, okay, but they're in good positions, okay, as a data scientist, not as a, I mean, like entry level. They are in good positions. See, this is one of the example, right? It doesn't mean that masters is required to become a good data scientist. It's not like that, okay? So what matters is skills, and just keep on upskilling, guys, okay? Because whatever we are learning today, okay, at the end of 4 or 6 months, there could be some new technology, right? So you need to keep on upskilling if you are in this domain, data domain, because so when I mean, like past like 5 to 6 years, we didn't had anything to be a generative AI or prompt engineering, because it keep on evolving. Now we have prompt engineering, we have generative AI, and going forward, of course, like after a few months or few days also, I don't know, like there'll be a new technology, right? Like we had chat GPT, like it boomed like within a few days, right? So it completely depends, okay? So keep on upskilling yourself, okay? So this is what I can suggest. But degree doesn't matter. If you're doing it, yes, that's good, but it's not a criteria to get into that position or that job role so that you'll get a good job. It's not like that, okay? Yes, Sonu. Okay, that's what मैंने बताया, right? So if you are entry level, you have just entry level into this domain. अगर आपने ML तक पढ़ लिया, right? It's like you have made your foundation very strong. अब easily see up to ML, there are chances you'll get a job. ठीक है, ML अगर आपको ML पता है, you can easily switch it. But मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, to have the more opportunities. जैसे आपने ML पढ़ लिया, ठीक है, you know everything about ML, but you'll get a job based on that also. Okay, but to have the more options, or I mean like more options जैसे in terms of job or in terms of other skills, अगर आपने NLP, अगर आपने deep learning ये सारे concepts पढ़ोगे, then it will be you'll have a more lot of opportunities, ठीक है। But up to ML, if you're strong, you can jump easily, because no need to start from scratch, right? Because it's like continuation. अगर आपको ML तक पता है, if you want to learn deep learning, you can learn it easily because you know ML. You can't jump directly to ML, sorry, DL, right? Because you need to know the basics of ML, right? Yes, Anjali, if you don't have any queries, you can drop off. See, if you have queries, right, type in chat, or else, like, if you're not able to understand, just raise your hand, okay? I'm giving priority to raise hand first, okay? Chat wala, I'm just seeing it randomly. Okay, Manish Kumar Dev is once again. Yes, Manish Kumar. Manish, Rahul आपको already unmute कर दिया है. You have raised it, हाँ.
सर एक डाउट ये है कि अभी जैसे कोर्स खत्म हो जाएगा थोड़े दिन
Yes.
बाद, तो सर हमें एडवांस करना है, तो और कोई कोर्स आएगा इसके बाद?
हाँ मतलब सी PW स्किल्स जो भी प्लान किया है, जैसे हमारे पास अब राइट नाउ डेटा साइंस के 3 कोर्सेज चल रहे हैं, राइट? वी हैव दिस ML बैच, राइट, एंड वी हैव अ प्रो बैच इज ऑलरेडी स्टार्टेड, राइट? सो उसमें अभी ML स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ है, इट्स प्रो बैच, हमें लाइक बहुत बड़ा लंबा चलने वाला है, बिकॉज दे हैव एंड टू एंड अप टू जनरेटिव एआई, लाइक एंड टू एंड, राइट? दे हैव NLP एंड मेनी सच स्टफ, एंड जो भी स्टार्ट होने वाला है इन जैन, राइट, इट्स ऑल्सो एंड टू एंड जनरेटिव, इट्स एंटायर कोर्स। मतलब आफ्टर दिस कोर्स, अगर आपको ओनली डीप लर्निंग पढ़ना है, वी आर स्टार्टिंग विद दैट आल्सो, गोइंग फॉरवर्ड विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दैट सब्जेक्ट, वी गोना हैव दी सर्टन क्लासेस। जैसे अब हमारे पास सिस्टम डिजाइन है, अगर कई लोगों ने ऑलरेडी बिग डेटा के बारे में पता है, दे ऑलरेडी नो अबाउट सम ऑफ द बेसिक थिंग्स, अगर आप वो वर्कशॉप, जैसे जैसे सिस्टम डिजाइन जो स्टार्ट हुआ था, राइट, स्टार्ट हो गया कल, राइट, वो अलग ही वर्कशॉप है, राइट? सिमिलरली डीप लर्निंग के लिए विल हैव दिस सेट ऑफ a course which is coming up, मतलब आगे आएगा, ठीक है, don't worry about that. Like see, आपको मैं ऐसे भी suggest कर सकता हूँ, see once you know about the ML, right, trust me, deep learning सीखने में थोड़ा early में difficult होगा, but if you know up to ML, then easily you can grasp those things. Just focus up to ML. ML तक अगर हो गया, you have like achieved at least some out of 100% of at least 70%. Rest easily it will fall into pictures like when you go to DL or easy में समझ में आ जाएगा. But if you don't know ML, then it's very difficult to grasp those concepts. ठीक है. This course में you'll learn everything about like databases, right? SQL, how to integrate the Python and SQL, deploying the projects, machine learning projects, end-to-end cloud, सारा everything up to ML. Don't worry about that, okay? So सारा खत्म होगा up to end-to-end projects, up to ML, right? Because this course designed up to 4 months, that's up to ML. ठीक है. And after ML, if people wanted to look into the deep learning, okay, we'll have that courses also going forward. ठीक है. Sir, can you tell us about LinkedIn, who is getting to help us in getting job? See, it's not like that, okay? So, Sridhar, like when you say like who will help, for example, there are people who are already working in data science. I'll give you a hint, okay? For example, assume like among your colleagues or your college mate has working some company like EMC Square, or he may working in Infosys or Wipro or Amazon or Deloitte, right? You can just send him a connection, okay? So when you send a connection, make sure you send a message also that I'm into new. I'm into this new. I'm new to into this domain, right? I just wanted to explore. I want to learn from you, right? So just write some small message and send it. Okay, it's a good practice. Like whenever you're sending a connection request, make sure you enter some message to that person. Okay, so you'll try to interact with that. Okay, I mean like of course there are many people who will not replied in LinkedIn, but at least you'll get an update or you get some kind of. There are people who are already in LinkedIn who share their job interviews. They share their opinions, okay, experiences, tips and everything, right? So you can just take the inputs from those guys, right? So this is what I was talking about, fine. And so whatever the work you're doing it, right? Try to publish that also in your post so that, so for example, you're tagging Vishwa sir, right? So Vishwa sir has many followers and many people who are following the Vishwa sir already, right? So even they'll get to know you because you are publishing something and tagging this person, right? So in that way, it's like we'll have the interconnection and they're gonna even they send requests you. Even there are people who will be follow you based on your post, and there will be many new learners who want to learn from you also because whatever you're posting it, right? So this is how you need to build a connection and number of followers, and this is how it grows. Okay. And you're able to learn many things. Okay. There are people who will, where they'll communicate with you to ask some tips or something like that. Okay. So this is how you need to go. Fine. Yes, Nikita, don't worry. You'll get a placements. Don't worry. Okay. Up to ML, you just focus up to ML. Okay. Everything will get solved. Fine. If I'm not able to address it, okay. You got my mail address, right? I'll just display once in here. If you didn't got in chat, okay, I'm just sharing this in my, let me share my screen once. Okay, so this is my email address. Sorry. Okay, send it to me. Okay, if you have like if I'm not able to address some of the queries, fine. Whatever I'm like going forward in the course, okay, if I'm not taking any revision sessions, you want to ask something or anything, or you want to share it, or you want to ask me any questions or any problems, you can just mail me. Okay, apart from the different doubt challenge which you have. Sir, it's too early to first year student. No, it's not early. People who are in 10th, even they're learning AI nowadays. Okay, so you can go ahead. You're good. I mean, like you have enough time, I mean, to analyze and everything, but you're at good stage. Okay, if you have started that early, you're at good stage. Okay, you can learn. Fine. First few classes will be a bit difficult if you're new to programming. Okay, you'll feel that this is not meant for me or something like that. Be patient, try to learn, okay, try to focus, easily you'll get it. If you're not getting it, in case, okay, I'll just give you like in case you're not understanding, you're not getting it, or it could be me, okay, whatever, if you're not able to understand it, we have dot channels, right? Just address it, okay, just go and ask, okay, what was this what topic about, right? For example, in some of the video didn't understand certain topic, okay, just discuss with your friends, okay, this is what, just solve your queries. At the end, the query has to be solved. That's what the main purpose is. Okay, if you didn't understood about the identifiers, in case like what I thought you didn't understood, or in from the video also didn't understood, just talk to your friends. Okay, just try to search or something. Okay, just try to learn it. Okay, at the end, make sure learn it or ask the dot channel. Just send it to me. I may connect you personally to teach something. Okay, from my side, I'll put my 100%. Okay, don't worry. Fine. Yes, yes, projects will be covered, Rakesh. Don't worry. Okay, so we'll have some good projects at the end. Fine.
सर जो अपकमिंग फील्ड होगा वो वेब डेवलपमेंट होगा, डेटा साइंस होगा?
Upcoming, sorry.
अपकमिंग जो फील्ड होगा वो बूम किस में आएगा सर, वेब डेवलपर्स में या डेटा साइंस?
See, web development is a brand like is a domain which is like popular all the time. ठीक है, front end हो या back end हो या full stack हो, ठीक है. uh, it's a totally two different domains. ठीक है, मतलब मैं नहीं बोलूँगा I'll not balance it. It's like a balancing हो जाएगा. See, they have their own placement opportunity in terms of salaries also, in terms of positions also, but ये दोनों अलग domains है. मतलब boom of course मैं AI को ही बोलूँगा, because right now whatever is happening is entire टेक स्टैक इज बूमिंग बिकॉज ऑफ एआई. ठीक है, अगर आप वेब डेवलपमेंट भी कर रहे हो, बट इफ यू यूजिंग एआई विद दैट, इट्स at the end it's AI, right? So I should say it's AI. Okay, मतलब AI domain. Okay, so AI के अंदर जो भी आता है, okay, whether it's ML हो गया, DL है, generative AI है, या chat GPT है, prompt engineering है, या कोई भी domain है with respect to data. Okay, so I think it's booming right now. ठीक है, and web development, it's again a popular in the specific domain, because back end या front end we have many opportunities at the same time. मतलब skills भी matter करता है. There are people who are learning full stack web development, but they're not able to create their own creativity. जब see, when we talk about web development, it's all about the creativity, right? अगर आप front end सीख रहे हो, you need to how to design a website, but if you're not able to put your creativity in those projects, it's none of the use. I am like, अब क्यों ही सीख रहे हो, right? If you want to just do a copy paste project and आपको सिर्फ सीखना है दूसरे क्या कर रहे हैं, but it's a waste. Even in this domain also, right? अगर हम कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट सिखा रहे हैं, it's of the learning stage, right? So you're learning it, and एक बार आपको learning आ गया, I want you people to think in that way and solve some other projects in real time. ठीक है, that's what the actual objective is. ठीक है, but in terms of whatever the question asks, it's depends. ठीक है, but yeah, so if you ask me personally, it's AI. ठीक है. Okay, guys, thanks for attending the session. Okay, so the next session, Ekta will be taking all the revision sessions. Okay, yes, all the best. And if you have any queries, you can send me a mail, right? And yeah, so this is the one way. And yeah, sometimes like if she's not available, I'll be coming for revision sessions. Okay, and every Saturday we'll have the revision sessions. Okay, but next week, the Ekta will continuing the revision sessions for the Python. Okay. In case if she's not available for some days, or she's not available any of the Sunday, then I'll come and take it. Okay. So this is how it will be. But don't depend on the mentor. Okay. Company depends. They keep on changing it. Okay. So just learn it. Okay. So if you're, because you have various doubt channels, if you're not able to grasp it, then address any of the doubt channel. Make sure doubt is cleared. Fine. Got it? Shall I end the session? Okay. Okay. Thanks. Thank you everyone. Okay. Thanks. And if I'm taking next session, I'll make sure I'll implement the Hindi part. Okay. Uh, Vishwa sir will continue in recording. I don't know like what. See, that's what I told you. Don't depend on the mentor. Okay. Learn on your focus on your learning perspective. Fine. If you're not getting it, make sure you because you have paid it. Make sure doubts is clear. That's what I would just want it to you. Okay. To implement that. If you're not understanding, make sure like paisa vasool karna hai, right? If you're not not understanding, make sure that topic has to be cleared. Okay, from our side. Okay, so that efforts will put it. But जो आपको सीखना है वो आपको ही सीखना है. I can't come to your house and tell, okay, please read this or please read that. It's your thing. But अगर आपको कोई भी टॉपिक समझ में नहीं आया फ्रॉम आर साइड, ओके, अगर कोई भी आपको डॉट समझ में नहीं आ रहा है या आपको समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है, we'll have the one-to-one session. We'll make sure that your doubts is cleared. Okay, that's our main objective is. At the end, you should be able to crack some jobs after ML. Okay. Sir, you don't see my chat. Sorry, your name, Sanchan. Okay. See, in terms of chat, what happens is I'll be coming like whatever the chat you're typing, right? It will be a continuous flow of chats. So there could be a reasons because I'm not able to see your chats because continuous flow of chat, right? So I'm just addressing which is I'm able to see right now. Okay. Can we have the next week content in advance? Yes, yes, it will be uploaded. Okay, don't worry. ठीक है सी कुछ वीक्स ऐसे होंगे जहाँ पर ज्यादा कंटेंट अपलोड हो जाएगा ओके कुछ वीक्स ऐसे होंगे जहाँ पर कम अपलोड होगा completely depends on the scenario okay mentors health okay or festive season ठीक है or it could be with respect to whatever the scenario is उस पे डिपेंड मत करो ओके वो काम हम करेंगे ठीक है सो डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट ठीक है कंटेंट आज ज्यादा हो गया कम हो गया ओके डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट कंटेंट विल बी अपलोडेड एवरी वीक ट्राई टू वॉच इट एंड मेक श्योर कंप्लीटिंग ऑल योर असाइनमेंट्स ऑन टाइम ठीक है मतलब आई हैव सीन लाइक दे कीप इट एट द एंड मतलब जब वो कुछ भी ऐसे कुछ आएगा सिनेरियो जहां पर आपको ऐसे अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगा टू गेट इनटू सम प्लेसमेंट्स और समथिंग हमारा क्राइटेरिया रहेगा राइट to if some people have submitted 60% of assignment or 70% of assignment we may give a more priority to those people ठीक है so just be prepared from day one ठीक है अब शायद हार्डली जो भी आपको प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन मिला है इट्स वेरी 6 to 7 questions अगर they are prompt student they're going to type it if they're not they're going to copy from ChatGPT and paste it right? it may happen right मतलब ऐसे सिनेरियोस है जहाँ पर लोग जस्ट ChatGPT से कॉपी करके पेस्ट करके असाइनमेंट सबमिट कर देते हैं आई डोंट वांट दैट टाइप ऑफ आंसर्स ठीक है बिकॉज ऑफकोर्स वी कांट गो एंड चेक मैनुअली वेदर द पीपल आर actually doing it or copying from some sites okay so that work we can't do it but I encourage you to do it by yourself ठीक है it's always it's very delayed no don't worry okay so see even the focus is on delivering the content in best possible way and it should reach to you in best possible way okay it's not about syllabus completion okay we have not kept that in our mind okay so that we have to complete this fast and deliver it to you. It's not about that okay it's all about like giving whatever the candidate's been in the best and in the best possible way okay so don't worry about that okay so if you are getting like very I know like first week it was supposed to be completed up to certain topics it happens okay sometimes ऐसे होता है हर बैच में हो जाता है और कई बैच में बहुत सारा कंटेंट आ जाता है then they'll say like reverse complaint okay there was a lot of content we are not able to complete ऐसे भी आंसर्स आते हैं okay so it's like both sides yeah so it depends ठीक है so sessions will be increased based on the topics covered ठीक है because see it's no point if I started teaching everything in live और मतलब वो थोड़ा bit ए भी हो जाएगा then people start complaining live में कुछ अलग चल रहा है and recorded में कुछ अलग चल रहा है we don't want so whatever has covered up to this will complete it up to in the live revision sessions ठीक है fine don't worry yeah Ridesh okay take on your feedback don't worry okay so we'll increase it if it is required okay generally we'll have the 2 hour sessions okay during projects it may take 3 hours okay generally it's 2 hours yes any other queries put it or else I'll end it no unmute okay Srishat okay yes yes please watch it out
Hello, sir.
yes batao yes project
Sir, I wanted to ask you a question. One is that in reference to this course, how much level of programming in Python do we need to learn?
see level of programming see programming it's like a ocean okay so we don't have any set boundaries to tell okay this is what you need to know it okay but if you know more about programming it's like you have more chances and more opportunities okay that's what I can say because in Python there are see every time there is a new advancements in all the programming languages okay when you talk about level see the loops when I say loops if oops concept it will remain same we don't have any level for that it's like so when I say advanced level, right? So you should know about a modular coding. Okay. So when it comes to modular coding, when we build that ML kind of projects. Okay. So if you talk about level, you should be very good in programming language because if you're good in at least one programming language, you can jump to any domain. Okay. Irrespective of whatever you're working. So I would say like you should be a master of any one programming language. Okay. Whether you're learning if we were specifically talking about data science, then Python is must. Okay, you need to master the Python. Okay, when I say mastering the Python, like you need to know about a modular coding. Okay, which we'll be learning in ML part. Okay, And how will you learn that modular coding? Once you know about the functional perspective of how to build a functional programming as well as an object-oriented programming. Okay, to learn that object-oriented and stuff, we need to know the small things. Like we need to know about the loops, we need to know about the if conditions, we need to know about exception handling, we need to know about the logging. Okay, so logging, exception handling, these are the advanced concepts. Okay, so here you need to master all these things. Okay, like how to handle with the files, file handling. Okay, it's a separate topic. Okay, so we have like multi-processing, multi-threading concepts. Okay, so this is where you will be dealing whenever you're working with the multiple environment, like multi-distributed environments. Okay, so for each and every level, we have a different level of programming. Like as I said, we are working with the GUI, like graphical user interface. In our course, we're not teaching the TK enter, right? But it's built in the Python. Okay, so even if we need to learn a Python to build the TK enter, that is GUI, right? If you're working in some other domain like web scraping, web scraping is also a tool or technique where we used to scrape the data. But is it so programming will remain same, but the internal concept will slightly vary based on what the task you're doing it. But you should, if you know more about programming, it's like it's more opportunities and you'll gain a lot of skills. Okay, like for example, you want to integrate with or you want to interact with, sorry, not integrate, you want to interact with the images. Okay, so you need to learn OpenCV for that. Okay, this is the other library for that. Okay, so in our course, we learn the NumPy and Pandas because we are focused more on the data cleaning or data validation, data wrangling or steps. Okay, where we need to know about the NumPy library, Pandas library, Matplotlib library, visualization libraries. We're going to explore everything about that, but we'll not learn about the image processing because it's out of this course, right? So where you need to learn about the OpenCV. So whenever you interact, whenever dealing with the deep learning concepts or such like that. Okay, so there will be learning all these OpenCV libraries. But when it comes to level, make sure master as much as you can. Okay. But whatever the syllabus we have planned in our, I mean, like if you know that, then easily you can jump, I mean, like to any specific program. I mean, like if you want to build a TK enter, okay, I'm like a graphical user interface, you can easily jump. Okay. If you want to work in the OpenCV, you can easily jump. But whatever the syllabus we have planned it, it's like end to end. It's good if you are a beginner and you want to getting started to look for a job in ML, right? So it's good for that. Okay, so the entry level as well as like you see in our we have all the advanced concepts also like exception handling, looping, multi-threading. Okay, so we have all those things. Okay, so this is how it works. Fine.
So one more thing, for an entry-level data science job or data analysis coming from a BTech background,
Mhm.
up to similar question, like up to what level of DSA we need to study? Like, is it enough in array strings, or do we need to touch the part of dynamic programming, trees, graphs, and stuff
Yeah, that's what I
like that?
told, right? So if you're college student and if you're looking for a job and the job which you're looking it's like FANG companies or some good companies, okay, or you're looking for SD like software developer or something like such roles, DSA is mandatory and you need to know all the concept about DSA. Okay, but your focus is more on the ML engineer or data engineer or data scientist. You should know the DA, but not that level. I mean, not advanced level. If you know the basic intermediate level, that's it works fine. Okay, so that's what it completely depends on the company's interviews because see the Google, when you apply for Google or any other companies, right, the first interview will be DS and programming. Okay, but same thing if you go for Deloitte for data and scientist role. Okay, so they are slightly different. They'll not ask the DSA. I mean, like not a must questions in DSA. Okay, if you know the basic level of understanding, it work fine. Again, company to company depends. But if you're asking this generalized, then yes, if you know, see, if you know it, it's better. Like I mean, like you're a good position. But if you don't it, just learn up to basic level because you're a fresher, right? If you're a college student, learn up to basic level. Fine.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Okay. So thanks for joining. Okay. So we'll address any queries if I'm joining next week. Okay. And from the next week, the exam will be continuing. Okay. So all the best. Bye. Take care. Okay.